Hello everyone and welcome to Steiniger Stadium, the home of the Perrysburg High School Yellow Jacket football team. It's just started to rain a bit, but it hasn't dampened our enthusiasm in the least for the kickoff of the fall football season. A little bit of a sneak preview, the regional all-star football game here from Perrysburg. I'm Greg Franke along with John Keller. And John, one of the really interesting things about this game is we're going to be seeing the top players, the cream of the crop from 50 area high schools. There's some 20 or more all-state caliber players in this game. Just about everyone's at least all league, all district something. We're going to see tremendous talent.
That's for sure. We got some great athletes here, and we're going to see them play with different coaching, different teammates, and different sets, and everything's going to be different. So we're really going to see the athleticism come out of these guys.
John Keller, you had quite a career at Central Catholic. I won't say when, goes back a few years, but certainly in a game like this, I would think for a really good athlete, it would have to be a lot of fun to play in, because here you're really going to let your raw talent come to the forefront.
Yeah, and that'll show. That'll show. A guy that can adjust and doing different things, like Coach Cole was talking earlier. They're in a system, a lot of them, and they know their system. But let's see how they do in another system with a different coach and with different teammates.
We're going to be hearing from the coach, Tom Cole, on the sidelines throughout the course of this game. And, John, another thing I think that's quite interesting, too, is that when you put together players from so many different kinds of teams and so many different kinds of backgrounds, and all of a sudden you have to throw them together in just a few days, I would think that this would be a challenge to overcome.
Well, the spirit is high, though, amongst the players. They liked, somebody said they were trading helmet decals. I hope they weren't changing uniforms because it messes up with their numbers. But it gives them a good esprit de corps. Somebody they've been playing against for years or reading about for years, now they're finally teammates with them. So that makes it fun.
Well, we just recently had the Major League Baseball All-Star Game, of course. Same kind of scenario. One outstanding player in this game, a first-team All-Stater, Kelly Rowe. We had a chance to talk to him earlier in the week, and he said that exact same thing. He saw a lot of players that he had played against, looked at from over the line of scrimmage, and both he felt towards them and they felt towards him. It's great to get an opportunity to be teammates for once.
Yeah, and I understand he's a terrific football player. I'm anxious to see him play. I've never seen him play, and I'm anxious to see him.
We're going to be looking at some other very outstanding players, including Edwin Hood, slated for Bowling Green State University, a track star as well from Whitmer. Danny Baker, who knows, maybe the next Ben Roethlisberger. It's not the first time he's ever heard that, an outstanding quarterback for Findlay, and a lot of other great talent that we'll be telling you about throughout the course of this game. The Regional All-Star Football Game coming up from Perrysburg on BCSN. Well, you can see pretty clearly there, you mentioned in the pregame that it had just started to rain lightly. Obviously, it has accelerated quite a bit, as you can see the rain silhouetted by the lights there. And we understand that there is going to be somewhat of a delay here. Obviously, the umbrellas have been broken out, and there has been some lightning sighted, and obviously they are very, very cautious about their procedure when lightning is sighted. Generally, they'll wait a half an hour before continuing a game after the sighting of lightning. So that being the case, they are undoubtedly going to be pushing back the start of this game at Steinecker Stadium. And obviously, John Keller, safety has to come first, but if the lightning stops, it'll be fun to get out here and roll around in the rain, won't it?
Yeah, it would be fun to be out there, but I'm glad I'm in a press box at my age.
Now, did you like playing in the rain way back when?
Oh, yeah, it was fun. Yeah, it was kind of cool, really, because it was hot weather. You like the water and the wetness.
Did it affect your abilities to cut and make moves and all those sorts of things?
Oh, you just ran different, that's all. Okay.
Yep. All right, well, yeah, Gale Sayre scored 6 touchdowns in the rain. It didn't affect his cutting ability that day. So that's the situation we have. The officials obviously are coming out, so we're going to have football tonight, we're very certain, but we understand there is a rain delay. We're going to go to a highlight package, and we'll be back with this all-star regional football game tonight on BCSN. As you see, we have returned to Steinecker Stadium in Perrysburg, where the regional all-star football game is going to be played. The field is currently being bathed in a heavy rain. You can probably even see it silhouetted against the screen there. In fact, if anything, the rain is coming down heavier than it was when we first announced that there would be a delay in this game. However, at least as current information would indicate, as you see some of the players warming up in the conference with the officials, that should be getting the game underway about 7:45, which would be quite an accomplishment here. It would be not too far away from what the original start time was. So we're going to continue with our pregame information here, and there were a lot of festivities leading up to this game during the week. One was a special presentation before a Tuesday practice by longtime University of Michigan Wolverine defensive coordinator Jim Herrmann, who had some very inspiring words to the players in this game, many of whom are going to continue on to collegiate football. And let's listen in on some of the things he was telling them Tuesday night.
I want you to go through those words that I just gave you. Traits of a champion. They have one common denominator. What is it? What is it? Does anybody get an answer? Anybody want to answer? You know I'm going to give you the answer, right? All right? One common denominator. Men, I'm going to tell you something. All of those things I just told you, heart, passion, confidence, poise, leadership, discipline, perseverance. You can have those regardless of ability. Amen. I didn't talk about speed. I didn't talk about strength. I didn't talk about eye-hand coordination. I didn't talk about the biggest guy out there, did I? No. No. All of those are right here. Every single one of them. You're not born with it. It's there. And it'll always be there. Always. All you got to do is draw on it and pull it out and decide this is who I am. This is what I want to be. This is where I want to go. It doesn't take any ability at all. It doesn't take a 4.40. It doesn't take 27 reps at 230 pounds. It doesn't take great lateral quickness. It doesn't take a 34-inch vertical leap. Those things I just gave you, traits of a champion, men, they're all right there. They're all in there, and they will never leave you. They'll always be there. Someday, here soon in your lives, you're going to have to call on it. You're going to have to pull them out. You're going to have to reach down deep inside yourself and say, hey, look, I am going in the wrong direction. We have on our wall at Michigan in the defensive team meeting room, huge letters, huge. Average is unacceptable. Unacceptable. It is unacceptable. Average people to me, I don't have any time for them. I have no time for them. Average people. Because average people, they don't have any of this. They don't reach within. They just accept who they are and just kind of wade through life. They'll go through life and they'll be a nobody. I want guys that want to be above average. I want guys that can reach down in here and grab it. No matter who you are, what position you play, whatever you do in life. All right? If you want to set yourself apart, you think about what I just gave you right there.
That's Jim Herrmann, defensive coordinator at the University of Michigan, and quite interesting words there, John, because he cited several examples of players who went on to success in collegiate and professional football and overcame the fact that they didn't have the greatest level of skill, the greatest level of size and strength. And I would think in football, as much as in any game, that heart really comes out, and that can make an average player good, a good player great.
Oh, that's absolutely right. And what he was doing, too, is getting them ready to go on in life. They're going out of high school where they've been a little bit pampered and just went through the toughest years of their life, their teenage years, and now they're grown men, and they got to go out and do something about it. So he's telling them to reach inside and pull out what they got. And I think it was very good talk. I wish I could have been there.
Yep. All right, and we'll be back to continue with our pregame show prior to this regional all-star football game on BCSN coming up in a moment.
Three, Lane and Katie. Lane.
See the Minnesota Viking logo prominently displayed along with a lot of other umbrellas. Still coming down, maybe lightened up just a little bit. The coach, Tom Cole, is completing our broadcast team today. He's down at the field. He was making some very interesting comments about players coming into this game to show off their abilities, possibly to prospective college coaches, and said it's a very interesting kind of a game for those people, a good showcase for them to show off their skills. Let's go down to him. Tom?
Tom Cole down in the field live at the BCSN All-Star Game, and Sean and Lane and Katie are down here with us from the BCSN, and they said the heavy stuff's not going to come in until later. So, guys, I think we're going to be okay. We're going to get a football game in. And J.K. and Greg, I'll tell you, there's an interesting philosophy about the All-Star Game. Sid Gilman, the father of the modern passing game in the NFL with the San Diego Chargers, used to have a philosophy about All-Star games. Of course, Al Davis stole his offense, and Bill Walsh and Joe Gibbs, and he truly believed you can judge the truly great athletes in an all-star game because they're devoid of a system. They only have 7 or 8 days to come in and practice, so they're not system players. Their talent has to elevate above the system because they don't really have a system to support them. So, guys, you're going to see some extraordinary athletic performances tonight, and J.K. and Greg, we're going to throw it back up to you.
All right, and I'm sure Sid Gilman would be proud to see that his offensive philosophies still 40, 45 years later, still well in practice, and we're going to see, I think, a lot of fireworks in this game if the weather doesn't prevent us from seeing that. There's a number of the players on the gold team coming out to meet with the members of the black team, and they're going to show who is the winner of the coin toss, and we'll find out who will be receiving. In fact, they might actually have the coin toss itself. See a number of captains on both sides. And we were talking, John, with the coach prior to the game and some of the things that he was saying about the way that Sid Gilman influenced the game and about how players show their talent and they have to break out of a system that they might be used to playing during the regular season is a very interesting aspect of a game like this.
Yeah, and it makes, I said at that time that it's a shame they can't play this game when they're juniors to get a little different look at coaching, a little different system, so they don't get caught into that mode of just running the same system all the time, and get them a chance to see that their coach was right and see what other coaches has to offer them. So, but anyway, they're doing it as seniors, and some of them are going to get a ticket to college after this game, I'm sure.
Seen the coin toss, and the black team, it appears, has won the toss and have elected to receive. And they apparently are going to be moving from north to south, from Toledo to Bowling Green, if the indications are correct. Let's take a break, and we'll be back with more pregame activity on the Regional All-Star Football game coming up in a moment on BCSN. You can see the amount of precipitation that we're getting here as the Black All-Stars are introducing themselves. This is something that they actually practiced. It's almost like graduation practice before getting your diploma, which I'm sure a lot of these guys have just gone through as well. So maybe they're well rehearsed for this, but they are introducing themselves and where they went to school, and you can see that a great number of the black players have already gone through that. Let's talk a little bit about some of the players, John, that we're going to be watching in this game. And a number of all-state players, 8 of them by my count on this gold roster, and no fewer than 20 on both sides, but some outstanding players, and among them, number 7, Mickey Cassidy. He's a player at St. John's that we saw play so much for the St. John's team, and we'll get to him when we get to the gold squad. There's Cassidy as a member of St. John's, and he was first team all-state in football, and also second team all-state, first team all-city and district. And for the black squad that's being introduced, Kelly Rowe, we talked about him in the pregame, and he was a first-team All-Stater for Southview, led their team to the regional championships, and also a great story the way they went from making it to a state championship finals. Then they dropped to an 0-10 team, and within 2 years they were back as major state contenders. There's Kelly Rowe, and you see the players will be decked out in their uniforms that they wear for their high schools. So that's kind of a nice aspect to this too, such as you might see in an event like the Pro Bowl. You'll see their high school helmets, pants, and then of course they wear the team jerseys. There's Kelly Rowe. He'll be going to Boston, going to school there. Bentley College will be where he goes to play. Also Edwin Hood on the black team, number 15. We mentioned him, a first-team All-Stater. He is going to Bowling Green State University, and he's certainly a player to watch, a 5'11", 190-pound tailback, another first-team All-State player. And there's a look at Chris Hertig, number 14. He's a second-team All-District player, and just about every player in this game, the vast majority of players, John, were at a minimum honorable mention or second team, first team All-District, many on to state. So we're really seeing the absolute top level of high school talent from 50-some schools in Northwest Ohio.
Yeah, you're seeing the cream of the crop. So we ought to see a pretty good football game, because as I'm looking down this roster here, you know, with Kelly Rowe with his record at Southview, he's got some pretty good receivers out there too. So both teams are going to be throwing the ball around a little bit today. So we could be here for a few hours, stopping the clock for first downs and stopping the clock for incomplete passes. But we should see a good ball game.
That is more of the gold team players being introduced. Saw Ryan Fruth, three-sport star from Holgate High School. A lot of smaller schools interspersed in with the large schools. And the way they put these teams together is they actually did not set it up so that it was City League teams against Northern Lakes League or Suburban Lakes League teams. They split it up so that you don't have players from the same team during the season opposing each other, but you might have some smaller schools mixed in with some larger schools, and they tried to do it in such a way so that it would maximize the competitiveness of this game, and I think that that's a good thing for the fans.
Yeah, I don't know exactly how they pick them either, but they've got a number of big offensive linemen out there. I have 6'6", 6'7", 6'5", 6'4", 6'3". You know, they're all big boys in there, 240 and 250 and 260. But 285 here, we got a guy here from Maumee, Drew Perry. So we've got some good size out there and some excellent throwers and catchers out there. So we ought to see, some action.
Yeah, well, you mentioned Drew Perry. He's coming out on the field now at this moment, number 71. There he is, and you can see the size on him. And he was a district lineman of the year and first-team All-Stater. And he is certainly one of the outstanding players in this game, and he's just probably maybe the biggest name of some really outstanding linemen that round out the rosters on both sides. Again, you see the rain still coming down quite heavily, but as long as the lightning holds off, we should get this game underway very close to on schedule. So the teams have been introduced. The head coaches, Pat Gachardo, Start High School, and Craig McCord of Ayersville, Todd Drusbeck of Edgerton, and Mike Snyder of Toledo Christian, the coaches for the Gold team. So we have the color guard out on the field, and we are going to pause for a moment to honor America with our national anthem.
If everybody would please stand and pay respects to the flag.
By the dawn's early light, what so calmly hailed at the twilight last whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous
That's probably the best performance of the national anthem ever in a driving rainstorm. Let's take a break and be back with regional all-star football action on BCSN. And we're back. There you see the officiating crew for this game. Rick Gross be the head linesman. John Arnsby the line judge. James Johnson the back judge. Harry Johnson referee. And John Dircheval the umpire. And there you see we got a very good crowd here at Steinecker Stadium. Guess if you count the umbrellas, you really have a high capacity in this game. But it's been well publicized. And people have come out in force for this game. So the black team will be receiving and moving from left to right across your screen. And they'll be receiving the kick from the goal. And we're just about ready to get this game underway. Not bad at all, only about 18 minutes after the official scheduled start time. They are keeping the time on the field, as we had some difficulties with the scoreboard.
Kicker.
Eric Soltis, an outstanding kicker. First team All-State from Rossford. Kicking this game off, number 8, and he drives it deep and through the end zone, and there'll be no return for Edwin Hood, number 15 from Whitmer. We mentioned him on his way to Bowling Green State University, and a tremendous talent. Saw him participating in track, outstanding in the 100 hurdles. Had high aspirations for making it to state. Hit a hurdle, he told us, in the regional competition, and that really can throw even the best track athletes off, and he did not meet that, but I'm sure he's got biggest and best things ahead of him in his athletic career. All right, 1st and 10 from the black team's 20-yard line, and it will be Kelly Rowe at quarterback, the outstanding Southview Cougar prospect. 2 receivers right lining up in the eye, and off the snap we see something that we may see quite often in this game, as trouble holding on to the ball. He recovered it, but still got a couple of yards out of it.
Yeah, we got 2 factors. We got a different center than he's used to all year, plus the ball's wet. So, yeah, we'll see a little bit of that, but he picked it up and gained a yard or 2. Gained a yard, I guess.
It's a pretty good idea of what a rugby scrum looks like there, as everybody was diving in for that loose ball. And he did a good job getting 2 or 3 yards out of that. And we'll have 2nd down and a long 7. Lined up with the receivers, this time on the left side. And handoff, and once again they will try the left side of the line and pick up maybe another yard. The ball carried that time by Ryan Kersey, a 6-foot, 210-pounder from St. Francis, and he was stopped by Austin Mayberry, a great linebacker for the St. John's Titan team that made it all the way to the state semifinals. So now our first passing situation of the game. It'll be interesting to see how they can come through in these inclement conditions. Rowe can certainly throw the football.
I've got 9 of your starters on offense so far. I'm still working on the other 2.
And this time once more they send the receivers to the right. Play action. Rowe, the left-hander, delivers the ball beautifully there to Brandon Kramer, of Anthony Wayne, who catches it for a first down at the 37-yard line.
Here we'll look at that. Here comes Kelly Rowe rolling out and spots his receiver and throws it up high where he can grab it. Good throw, good catch.
Well, that was a great shot there. Could not only see the delivery of the ball, but that battle going on between defensive back A.J. Johns of Perrysburg and Brandon Kramer, the opposite number 21s. But if there was any question as to how well Rowe will be able to throw the football, I think it's been answered on that play. So we've got 1st and 10 from the Black All-Stars 37. They've gone with the same formation each play, but just altering which side of the field they send out their wideouts. And whistle. And we have a delay of game penalty. So our first infraction of the game.
Well, we got enough starters now.
All right, go to it.
We got number 2 starting at a split end, L.J. Helton out of Defiance. At the other split end, wide receiver Dustin Dower out of Central Catholic, number 19. Number 21 is Brendan Kramer. Number 22 is Kelly Rowe, the quarterback. And number 23 is Ryan Kersey, the tailback. Number 46, Jeremy Cousineau is in there in the backfield, as well as James Blankenship. Number 56, offensive lineman. Rob Cameron out of Startle, offensive lineman, number 60.
Handoff.
Jeremy Cousineau.
About a yard on the play. It doesn't appear that they walked off any yardage there, despite the delay of game penalty. It was loss of down. So that was a 2nd down play. And a pickup of close to 2 yards, so it'll be 3rd down and 8 from the Black Team 39.
Now we got some substitutions coming in according to down and distance, so it's 3rd down and about 7. Along 7, we're probably going to be throwing it again.
See whether Rowe can come through at the same fashion that he did on the first 3rd and long situation. 4 down linemen trying to generate pressure, and they do. Rowe forced to scramble out of that pocket, throws it downfield, anywhere near that football. And we'll have our first punting situation of the game.
Yeah, he escapes, but he can't find anybody. He's left-handed. He's got to roll to his right to get away from the heavy rush. And he's conceded that he can't complete it, and he's going to get smeared, so he passed it out of bounds.
Almost called grounding on that play. I don't think there was anyone within a half a width of the football to that ball.
I think the gold coaches mentioned that to the officials a little bit.
Think so?
I think so. I want to see who the punter is. Is that Kersey? Yeah, Ryan Kersey's a punter from St. Francis.
You know what, though? They still
No,
have
they're
3rd
not.
down. So now I'm really confused.
Yeah, well.
Because it was 3rd down prior to that play.
That was something that we missed.
And they haven't moved the
No.
scrimmage line. They're playing it from the same line of scrimmage. Handoff up the middle, and Kersey takes advantage of that opportunity and cracks his way to midfield.
Well, he made a nice run. He broke a tackle here. Here he comes to the left side, makes his cut. The guy's got him by the legs now, and he gets away, and that held up the defensive guys a little bit. So there he goes, and he gets the first down. Dropped the football, but I guess he was down when he dropped it.
So that's a 13-yard pickup, and we'll make it 1st down. 10 to go, just about a half a yard shy of midfield.
Yeah, Ryan Kersey, 6 foot 210, a running back out of St. Francis. Had a great career. I think he was hurt half of this year.
Yeah, they have just the one setback. 4 receivers flooding the backfield. Rowe is back, arches one downfield, and intercepted, I believe, by number 12, Ryan Fruth of Holgate, coming up with that interception.
There he comes. He sets up. He looks deep. And he throws it up for grabs, kind of. He had hung up in the air. And number 21, his receiver, tried to come inside and get it, but he couldn't get there, and it was picked off by Fruth.
Brandon Kramer made an excellent effort to catch that ball, gave it the old college try.
Yeah.
But good concentration by Fruth, who picked it off.
All right, now for the gold team at I don't know who we got in there.
Danny Baker will be the quarterback.
Yeah, Danny Baker, okay.
The Findlay Trojans. We talked to him for Tuesday practice. We may get a chance to hear from him from that conversation. There's a handoff and goes to Calfani Rice. Fine running back from Woodward, first team All-City, second team All-District, and maybe got a yard on the play for charitable.
Yeah, I didn't get too much out of that. Yeah, we got Danny Baker, 6'3", 195. So if he grows like Ben Roethlisberger did, he'll be a big boy too.
Chris Stone of Woodmore, and that's one of the first things I said to him is, oh, are you going to be another Roethlisberger? And he said, that's not the first time I've heard that.
I believe that.
Any quarterback for Findlay, particularly an outstanding one, such as Danny Baker, who is first team All-League, is going to get that comparison from now on, I think. They go around right end, pick up maybe 4 yards.
See that little swing pass out there.
Got it out to Steve Sellers of Maumee, a 5'10", 175-pound player from the Maumee Panthers.
It'll bring up third down about 4. Where's the ball? The ball's on the 25-yard line of the goal.
So now we'll get our first look at the gold team in a third and long situation. And they're going to flood the left side of the field.
Yeah, they sure did. Well, they got somebody out to the right, too, though.
Man in motion. Ogdahl started to the left and then took off to the right. Shotgun. Baker back to throw, and he's going to be snowed under inside the 15-yard line. 3 or 4 in on the tackle, but it was Chris Stone of Woodmore who led the charge.
Yeah, he had a lot of time. He set up and he kept looking and looking and looking. Apparently nobody was open, so he stays in there real nice. But, boy, all of a sudden they just caved in on him.
There you see Stone of Woodmore and several other players as well. Number 11, Brent Simon of Evergreen, blitzing on that play. And I'm sure that our outstanding cameraman from BCSN, John Collin, can tell us all about Chris Stone, as he is a football coach at Woodmore.
Eric Soltis is in punt formation, and Dustin Dower from Central Catholic is deep.
And Soltis,
good punt.
Good punt, fielded at the 44 by Dower. He beat a couple of tacklers right up the middle and got over the 45 to the 43-yard line before he was stopped on the play. And good field position for the black team, to say the least. Tackle made by Seth Babcock, number 58 of Liberty Center. Speaking of BCSN connections, of course, Dave Dower doing a great job with our scheduling, and Dustin heading out to the sunny climes of California. Open up those Golden Gates. He'll be going to Santa Barbara, though, not San Francisco, but he says it's outstanding out there. Understand their football field is very picturesque. It's right at the bank of the ocean.
Oh, geez. He's singing surfing songs while they're practicing.
Play the Beach Boys there. All right, black team with the ball on the gold 43. First penetration into opposite team's territory. Again, they have a hard time with that snap. Last time it was also the first play of the sequence. Lost a couple on that. And let's go down to the sidelines. And here's the coach, Tom Cole. Tom?
Tom Cole down live on the field with the BCSN in the All-Star game. And JK and Greg, if you're a devotee of quarterbacks tonight, it's a smorgasbord for you. Kelly Rose, Sylvania's version of Doug Flutie, Danny Baker, Findlay, outstanding quarterback walking on at UT. Guys, I'm telling you, if you love quarterbacks, tonight's the night to watch the game. Kelly Rowe having a little trouble with the snap, and guys, he spent his whole life in the shotgun, and taking the quarterback snap off center is it's a difficult process. It's not an easy play, and Kel's struggling a little bit tonight. Back up to you guys.
But he has recovered both of those fumbled snaps.
Yeah, lost a couple yards. Oops,
there's a third one, and I don't know if they're going to recover that one. It's still loose on the ground.
Yeah, a black guy picked it up. A black shirt got it, I think.
And it is going to, in all likelihood, be turned over, but let's wait for the official ruling.
And we're not sure, but we think it was covered by number 76,
Justin Gatewood, number 76 of Whitmer from the black team, apparently got it. So they really dodged a bullet that time, to say the least.
Third down and 15 now, so they're going the wrong way. They got to come up with something big here. They got out wide to the right, number 21, Brandon Kramer from Anthony Wayne, who seems like a fine receiver from what we've seen of him.
He's been the favorite target of Kelly Rowe, and they probably know each other quite well with Kramer from Anthony Wayne and Rowe from Southview, so they're both Northern Lakes Leaguers. I'm sure they've seen one another a lot. Another fumble off the snap.
It looks like they're going to have to go to the shotgun or something because he's not able to get the ball. That's just like Tom Cole says, that's a difficult thing to get. Yeah, it takes a lot of timing and a lot of know-how, know your center. Even when your own center is changed, it's a problem.
When you think of the number of repetitions that they make and get to know each other so well, and then to even have a different player to work with, to say nothing of taking snaps rather than being in the shotgun, it's got to be a big adjustment. Brent Simon of Evergreen back to do the punting. And he's stationed at 38, so a good opportunity for the black team goes by the boards. Here's a punt as he's angling for the corner, and it's down just inside the 20. Might have been fumbled as there was a mad scramble for that loose ball. And again, we'll await the official word.
The Gold maintains it, so it's 1st and 10 for them on their own 20-yard line, I believe.
So as you might well expect, that football is rather difficult to control. Even though it looks like the rain has let up, it's still very wet field conditions.
You know, this field looks awful good for being as much rain as we had. We had quite a bit of rain, and it doesn't look muddy or sloppy. Of course, it's not football season either. It hasn't been used for a while.
Again, you can see the rain there silhouetted against the lights, and it has let up a bit, but still very evident and a factor in this game. Danny Baker out of the shotgun. He is rolling left. And again, he's under pressure. Again, he's going to be rocked, this time at the 16-yard line. But one thing is very evident. You commented the last time, John. He's not afraid to stand in the face of that rush.
Well, he better get his eyes checked then because he's got to spot a receiver. Look at it. Looks like this guy's open here, but he didn't like him. See, he's rolling to his left, and when Kelly Rowe rolls to his right, tough for him to turn and throw. They should have him rolling to his right.
Second down, 15. From the Gold team 16-yard line. Once again out of the shotgun. This time pass out into the flat. And running room for Scott Sellers. And he gets back the yardage that was lost and maybe just a bit to spare.
Yeah, he got that low snap and throws it out to the right to Sellers. Makes a nice grab, and then he looks to try to get a block, and he got a block there, and he cuts in and goes forward to get, well, it's probably about 9 to go for the first down, 3rd and 9.
See the major hit there put on by Rick Gonzalez of Springfield. He was an honorable mention All-Stater, and he made no mistake about putting Sellers down. Now it's a 3rd and 9, and once more they flood the left side. Baker once more rolling to his left. Pitches it upfield, and that is errant. He had his receiver open, number 81, Mitch Bruss, the fine tight end for St. John's, but couldn't get up high enough to bring that one down.
Yeah, he just gets out here, rolls out to his left, and again, he's got to turn and get set to throw, but he does that okay, and he sees his receiver and just throws it behind him. Maybe it's because the ball's a little bit wet too, but it's early in the game yet. They can get in the swing of things.
That time he had a blocking escort, so at least he didn't have to worry so much about the pressure. Baker, by the way, is headed to the University of Toledo. There's our returner on this punt. Dustin Dowrow made a very nice return last time, and Eric Soldis will make his second punt of this game. And another boomer.
Dower back and dropped it.
Low trajectory. Dower still having trouble and ends up out of bounds.
Yeah,
back at the 28-yard line, so that's where the black team will put it in play.
Yeah, that ball's a little wetter than it looks in here. We're nice and toasty warm, but it's pretty wet out there.
Now, already we've had probably 5 fumbles in this game. No fumbles lost at this point, but you keep putting the ball on the ground, sooner or later you're going to lose something.
Yeah.
So still no score. Reached probably the midway mark, maybe slightly more of this first quarter. The scoreboard, due to some technical difficulties resulting from the lightning that we had prior to the game is not functioning. No score in the game. We'll do our best to set that for you. I guess after the baseball season, we're well adjusted to working without a benefit of a scoreboard. 1st and 10, pitch out to the right. There is Edwin Hood. He's got great speed once he gets outside, and he picks up 6 yards on the play.
Edwin Hood with the pitch to his right, coming out here and get some blockers out in front of him. Number 21's got an angle, but he was slow getting there. He got him. Okay, he made his block, and Hood cuts up and gets about, what,
6 yards on the play.
Yeah, good gain.
So 2nd and 4, and this is really the first time, and it's so critical to get a good gain on 1st down, because now it's 2nd and 4. There's so many more options you have, and it's the first time we've seen that situation in this game. Once again,
Kelly Rowe taking his time. I formation. Fumbled the snap again, but picked it up.
Gets it back to Edwin Hood, and about a 3-yard gain there. You get close to the 1st down, out to the 38, so it'll be 3rd and short.
Yeah, he fumbled that snap again, but was able to pick it up and hand it off, so they got a couple yards out of it.
Seth Babcock making the stop from Liberty Center, 5'9", 200-pounder. So there you see the advantage of getting that good gain on 1st down, even though they didn't get much on 2nd down. Still have a very makeable situation here of 3rd and a short 2. Ball just about the length of the football past the 38-yard line. And that may be the end of the quarter. So let's take a break. No score in this game. The Regional All-Star football game from Perrysburg continues in just a moment. Second quarter about to get underway here. We have a 3rd and 2 from the Black All-Stars 38-yard line, and see whether the two teams can get untracked a bit here in the second quarter of this game. We know there's a lot of offensive firepower, but we haven't seen much of it yet. Of course, a lot of defensive ammunition as well. Handoff to Edwin Hood, breaks a tackle. He's into the open field. He's past midfield, inside the 30-yard line, and finally stopped at the 25. Submarine there by Mickey Cassidy. And a long gainer by Edwin Hood, and we talked to him about heading to Bowling Green State University earlier this week, and let's check in with Edwin Hood. And you're a tailback, and I've seen you run the 100-yard dash. It's a good position for you to play.
Thanks. I feel honored to be going to D1 school and getting to play football, what I love so much, another 4 or 5 years. I mean, it's a good thing, and I'm just glad I get to continue it.
Obviously, they got a really good thing going in Bowling Green now. Urban Meyer got going, and now Greg Brandon made a seamless transition. I'm sure you're pretty excited about playing for a team that's had so much success of late.
Oh yeah, I am so thrilled. Like, I had orientation the past 2 days, and this is the largest freshman class that they've had ever in BG's history due to the football programming, because it's bringing in so much attention, and now that we're on TV and stuff. So it's gonna be a great time living down in BG and playing football.
You know, Danny Baker of Findlay's going to Toledo, so you might have a chance to meet him again at some point during your college career. I'm sure that before you go on to that level, it's got to be a nice thing to be able to finish up here at the high school level, obviously with some very fine players.
Oh yeah, once again, like a couple of my players that I'm playing with now, and it'll be the last time I'd be able to play with them, and I mean, soak it all up and lot of good athletes on the black team that I get to play with, and it's going to be a good game.
You see the great weather they had for that practice on Tuesday. I'm sure they'd love to have had a repeat of that tonight. Another good gain by Edwin Hood on second down, and all of a sudden the ball is on the gold 24. There's a nice fake in the backfield by Rowe, and he's got open field. Inside the 20 and down to the 13, and once more he is bumped out of bounds by Mickey Cassidy, but all of a sudden, John, the black team has it in very high gear.
Yeah, that was the play before on first down. It was a draw play to Edwin Hood, and this time he faked it to Edwin Hood and kept it himself, and there was wide open on the left side. So he got good running room, and it's 1st and 10.
That misdirection play, and that's what can happen if you get a very effective runner. Softens up the defense a little. Now they're maybe keying on him a bit. It certainly gives more room for the other players.
Yeah, the play before he made a nice run on a draw play, so that was that's what set that play up.
So it is 1st down and 10 from the gold 13. It's the Black All-Stars with their first real threat of this game. First time either team has threatened to score. Looks like the storm is maybe past us. Rowe back to throw. He's putting that ball up in the corner of the end zone, and two players were dueling in the corner. Might have been some contact. Incomplete. Pass was intended for L.J. Helton of Defiance, and he was covered very closely by A.J. Johns of Perrysburg.
Yeah, it looked like there was some bumping back and forth when the ball was in the air, but nothing was thrown, so apparently it didn't happen.
So it'll be 2nd down and 10. That just seemed to be a timing play. He threw that ball to a space and hoped that his receiver could get there.
Yeah. Ball's on the 14-yard line. So what'll they come up with now?
Yeah, they lose that 1st down play.
How about Edwin Hood? What do you think?
Yeah. He's been money in the bank for him so far. He's the lone setback, as you see. Rowe counting off. And there you go with the draw play. And Hood fighting forward, but a good tackle there by Chad Zellen of Otsego. They've got an outstanding program, the Knights from the Suburban Lakes League.
Yeah, that was a good tackle. A good hit, and he wrapped his arms and brought him down. We'll see it right here now. There's a good tackle. Very good tackle.
That's the way you do it.
You aim for the waist. Yeah, you can't fake with his waist too much.
That low center of gravity, wrap him up and drive him to the ground.
3rd and about 7, huh?
Runner like Edwin Hood can't just bowl right over you. 3rd down and 7 from the 11-yard line. They can make a 1st down without scoring. And once again, Hood, the solitary setback. Play action. Rowe is back. Nothing opens up. Flushed out of the pocket. Trying to find some running room, and he gets down to the 5-yard line before he's buried. And number 55, Wes Kistner of Eastwood, making that tackle. It will be 4th and short.
Here he goes. In fact, when he gets back there, he runs into his own player, and it kind of slows him down. But he's looking now. He sees some room. Couldn't find anybody. Now he makes he got bumped in there by his own player a little bit, but he still gets away. And he's got about, what, a half a yard to go? Yard?
So it's 4th and short. Slippery as an eel on that play. Reminds me of Oscar Reed of the old, we saw the Minnesota Viking umbrella. They used to say it was slippery as a watermelon seed. And he might be very slippery in this inundated field here tonight with the rain still coming.
Let me ask you a question. Who's Howard Reed? Or Oscar Reed?
Oscar Reed was a fine running back for the Vikings in the late 60s and early 70s. Let's talk to Kelly Rowe. We caught up with him at the Tuesday practice earlier this week about his participation in tonight's game. You're going to be playing with a lot of players from different teams that have a lot of talent that sometimes you've been looking over the line from. I'm sure it's got to be an enjoyable experience.
Yeah, it's fun. You know, a lot of these guys, I remember my coach saying, you know, we got to stop this kid or he's going to kill us, you know. And now I'm out here on their team. You know, it's just a lot of fun. We're all out here having fun together.
Southview, during your career, had a very strong team. Even just a few years ago, you were telling me in 8th grade, that was the year when they went all the way to 2nd in the state. You've had an outstanding program and a good tradition at Southview.
Yeah, we had a couple rough times during my sophomore year. You know, we didn't win a game, 0-10, and then we came back my junior year, 5-5. And then we finished off our senior class, finished off 10-0 this year. Lost in the regional semis to Defiance, some of the kids are on the team, you know, so we talk about that game. We finished 11-1, so it was a great season.
Kelly Rowe, there he is. Has them lined up. They're going for it on 4th down, and they might have just gone with a long count trying to draw them off, and flags have flown here. And it is offside, and that should give them 1st and goal. So that worked to perfection.
Yeah, did what he wanted to do.
It's got to be tough anytime you can go from 0-10 to the regional championship game in 2 years. That's quite a turnabout.
Yeah, it says a lot about their senior class, really.
And Kelly Rowe, of course, a major component of that. 1st and goal from the 2-yard line. 2nd man through, Edwin Hood trying to find that path to the goal, and he got very close to the goal line, although apparently not across.
Yeah, he didn't get it. Must be right at the goal line.
Oh, yeah, you can see how close.
Yeah.
He could have easily just extended himself and got over the line. As it was, couldn't been more than 6 inches away. So now it is 2nd and goal from inches away from pay dirt.
I look for Rowe himself to take it. Step to the right and get in there if he can get the snap.
Yeah, that's the big thing. That has been the issue so far, but he seems to be getting better at that. Handoff, and Hood breaks 2 tackles, and he's in for the touchdown. And it is 6-0 for the black team.
Yeah, it's kind of tough to hold him up.
What is that, the fun bunch down there? the cake stand?
Well, I'll tell you.
Okay.
The game has changed.
See a penalty flag down.
That's probably
it
for
excessive
that.
celebration?
Probably, yeah.
No, I guess in a game like this,
unsportsmanlike.
You can tolerate it, I suppose. I never minded the fun bunch. I'm not much on pulling a pen out and signing autographs. Here's a look at this again. First and touchdown.
Yeah, he's tough to stop when he's that close because he's strong and he's a good runner. And he got away.
He had a good shot at him in the backfield there.
Hey, this is the BG cannon down here. This is fine talking about.
And not only broke that tackle, but another one, and in for the touchdown. So I think the cannon went off. You can see the smoke in the background. You heard that fired beforehand. We all thought it was thunder. All right, on for the point after attempt. Sergio Manriquez, and his kick is up.
Looks
and
like
good.
Plenty on it, yeah.
All right, let's take a look at the celebration. Is this excessive? You judge for yourself. I thought somebody pulled a muscle at first.
Yeah.
Good job.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, the game has changed, I guess. And it is 7-0 for the Black All-Star team as they really started to move. It was really that 25-yard run by Edwin Hood that broke the logjam as they were having a very difficult time making any headway. And once they got that running game going, everything else seemed to fall in place. In fact, they did not put the ball in the air on that drive. So it is 7-0 for the black team, and we'll see whether the gold All-Stars can mount a counterattack. Now you'll see they will mark off the penalty for the excessive celebration. They'll kick off from the 25 here, so there's a chance for very good field position for the gold team here on this drive if they can manage to take care of the ball.
Yeah, that's, wow.
Manriquez teeing it up. He is from Ayersville, second team all-district performer there. And he will be kicking to Steve Sellers and Calfani Rice deep, and it will be Rice taking it at the 15-yard line. Cuts out to the left at the 40, left his defenders in the lurch past midfield and drove the kicker over, but made the stop, did Soltis, to save a possible touchdown. And let's go down to Tom Call on the sidelines.
Tom Cole down in the field live with the BCSN at the All-Star Game, and I've got Dan Bose from Gorillas and Gazelles and the I-75 passing genius Cliff Height. And the Gorilla, I think, is me. Maybe the Gazelles, Coach Height. And Danny, Danny, tell everybody what Gorillas and Gazelles is all about.
Okay, we have a business that tries to create success stories for collegiate-bound athletes and athletes that become graduates, where we provide self-leadership programs for them as they enter school, and then we also then create situations where they can be placed with, as graduates, with entrepreneurial companies. The uniqueness of what we're doing is that we also have particular programs that are for student athletes, and we work with the various colleges throughout the nation to create a situation where they're going to take true advantage of the scholarships that are being offered to them and basically kind of keep their nose clean, but also really optimize that experience. On the Gazelle side of our business, we're dealing with graduates who are coming out, and generally speaking, if you go to a job fair on a university campus, you'll see some large corporations there, and they're hiring a few folks. We'll be representing 30 to 50 entrepreneurs that are hiring specific talent and giving them a chance to have a success story from coming into college and then also in leaving college.
Danny, the bottom line is you're helping kids, and we really appreciate that. And Cliff Height, the passing genius at I-75, Danny Baker, your quarterback. Now, hey, Danny's holding on to it a little bit tonight, Coach. You're going to have to get after him.
Yeah, it's tough when you're throwing at people you're not used to throwing, and you got a different offense. It is tough, but yeah, we're all sitting there saying, get rid of it a little quicker, Danny. Hit the receiver, but it's raining. He'll be okay.
Passing genius says not to worry, it'll be okay. Danny's walking out at UT. J.K. and Greg, back up to you.
All right, 2nd and 10, and they get about a yard on that play, and we do have a new quarterback. That ball was carried by Steve Coleman of Woodward.
Andrew Stotz is the quarterback, and the first down he threw a sideline pass to Calfani Rice, a swing pass more or less, and it was incomplete. Then they just ran the second down. Calfani Rice gained about a yard. So here we are, 3rd and 9.
Danny Baker walking on at Toledo. Andrew Stotz is going to Ohio State, but he tells us he's not going to walk on for the Buckeyes. Although maybe he should reconsider that. Who knows? Maybe Jim Tressel will see something in this game. Back to pass. Stotz fires it downfield, and a perfect pass, but a good defensive play there by Kyle Keeler of Evergreen as he broke it up. That pass intended for Steve Reddick of Perrysburg.
Yeah, the ball was thrown right there. It was in a good spot, and he was well covered. But I think it still could have been caught.
So after the excellent field position that they had following the return by Calfani Rice, the wheels fall off of that series, and they end up, in fact, going forward just a yard. And once more we have a 4th down situation. They had a player back deep, but they line up as though they're going for it, but now they're going to perhaps think it over a bit more. See, there's conference there on the sideline. Todd Dressback of Edgerton, coach along with Mike Snyder of Toledo Christian for the Gold team. And we talked about to Danny Baker about his heading to UT and also the inevitable comparisons with Ben Roethlisberger. He mentioned he's heard that before. Let's hear from him now. Now, you were telling me that you're headed to wear the midnight blue and gold. How did that come about that you're going to be heading to the University of Toledo?
They got in contact with me a few months ago, and we talked, and I've been up there a few times over the summer and to a couple practices, and just got to work hard now, and hopefully I can play someday.
Now, I thought I was real clever. I thought I was the first guy that ever said this. Oh, the next Ben Roethlisberger, a quarterback from Findlay. But you told me you've heard that before.
Oh, yeah, being a quarterback at Findlay now, you hear that all the time. There's always comparisons to Ben, no matter how good you are. Even if you're not very good at all, you still get compared because he's the best.
What sorts of things maybe have you picked up or learned about the way Ben Roethlisberger played that you've been able to use to help your game?
Well, everything. I mean, anytime you watch him, you can throw the ball hard and accurate, and he reads defense as well. And just watching film on him, it's amazing to see him throw the ball. And it's been great to be able to study under somebody who's a Pittsburgh Steeler now.
Yep, and only time will tell whether Ben Roethlisberger will become the next Terry Bradshaw, or at least the next Cordell Stewart.
On 4th down, they tried a screen pass, and it was detected pretty well. They had a good rush on the screen passer, and then when he did get it completed to the back, a linebacker came up and nailed him. So it's 1st and 10 for the Black now.
Josh Valentine and Steve Coleman really laid it on there and would not allow anything to materialize on that play. So it is now 1st and 10 the other way. Rick Gonzalez and Jordan Pringle on that stop. And Gold team back to the defense against Kelly Rowe. And another fumble on the snap. And they salvage 7 or 8 yards out of that play as he got the handoff to number 46, Jeremy Cousineau of Northwood. And once again, they're just having all sorts of trouble there, but a nice recovery.
Maybe that was just a fake fumble.
Yeah,
you know.
Maybe so. Maybe that's been in their playbook all along.
Whatever works. 2nd about 3 from the 49-yard line.
You played most of your career as a quarterback. Did you have trouble on days like this making that transition from center?
Well, there was trouble starting out in high school. Freshman, sophomore year was really a lot of work to get that snap. In fact, we tried different ways of doing it, and, it finally got down there.
2nd and short. Once again, play action. Rowe lofting that ball deep downfield, intended for L.J. Helton, but overthrown. Good coverage there by Josh Heidebrink from Rossford.
Yeah, he had good time and could spot his receiver, but he was well covered.
There is Josh Heidebrink, 2nd-team All-Northern Lakes League performer for the Rossford Bulldogs. Plays quarterback also. Also plays both ends of the field. And that's one of the things that's very different. Back the higher levels of football you were talking about was the specialization. You don't see as many of those players that go both ways once you get beyond the high school level.
Yeah, you still do in high school, but you don't see much of it in college at all.
No Chuck Bednareks left. He used to play 60 minutes a game for the Philadelphia Eagles. Won that 1960 championship for them. 3rd and short, handoff, and cracking through the line of scrimmage, nearing 1st down yardage, Sean Cousineau of Northwood. We have 2 Cousineaus, Jeremy and Sean, and that's very close to the 1st down.
That was a good hit by Josh Woods, I think, that might have forced him not to get the 1st down. It was close. They're going to measure, I believe.
We've seen some good open field tackling in this game.
Yeah, that was a good hit. You can tell it's a good hit when he hit the runner and he goes sideways. Now it's 4th down.
The only time I can remember where an open field tackle was missed was on the touchdown, when Edwin Hood broke a potential tackle in the backfield. 4th and short, inside of a yard. Rowe again fumbles the snap, lunges forward. If he recovered the ball, I think he's got the 1st down. A couple of the Gold players saying they recovered it. They'll unpile. Must be getting a little frustrating for him down there, I would think.
1st and 10, he's short of the 1st down, so.
Recovered the ball, but didn't make the 1st down yardage. So the Gold team holds, and they've got excellent field position themselves. And how much longer before it would really start to bother a quarterback to be having all this trouble controlling the football?
Yeah, well, the Gold team's about ready to connect on something too. You know, they're a pretty good ball club in their own right, so we got to see what they can put together.
It's about the 7th time that they have fumbled the snap. I don't think they've lost one yet.
No.
They've been close on several occasions. In fact, many times Rowe has made an outstanding recovery, but at some point, got to start taking care of the football. 1st and 10 from the Gold 49. And rolling out, Stote's pass, incomplete. At least he's rolling the right way, a right-hander rolling right.
Yeah, but there was nothing right about that play. That play was looked like somebody went the wrong place, because that just didn't look right. Stotz was rolling to the right, but there was nobody out there to throw it to.
So it'll be 2nd and 10.
There he comes. He's rolling out. There's nobody out there.
He wasn't throwing.
There's nobody there.
There you saw number 13, Nick Mauder of Waite, but the ball was about 10 yards beyond him, so that wasn't where he was going with it. Here's Bruss, Mitch Bruss of St. John's. Saw him at the All-City Awards banquet when the All-City athletes were honored.
He's a big boy.
2nd and 10.
He
Fumbled in the
football.
backfield, and this time it will be recovered by the defensive team. And it is number 53, Josh Wyrick of Southview, bursting through. And the ball goes over to the black team on the goal 43-yard line.
Now, he had that ball all right, but then he just dropped it. I mean, he got the snap. It wasn't a fumble of the snap. He got it and started rolling out and dropped the ball. You can't do that.
So the black team leading 7-0 has a golden opportunity to add to that. And we've had many, many times where the teams have played with fire in terms of fumbling the football. But that's the first time that it's cost them, and the interesting thing is the black team is the one that has fumbled the most but have not lost. At the time that the gold team fumbles, they do pay the price. And they get about 3 yards on first down. Ryan Kersey, St. Francis on the carry. And you see his knight helmet there. That's not a New England Patriot helmet. That is a Patrick Henry Patriot helmet. And they've got an outstanding program for a small school. In fact, they won state basketball championship back in '97.
Who's more patriotic than Patrick Henry?
That's right. You have give me liberty or give me death.
That's pretty serious.
That sure is. 2nd down and 6.
Ooh,
there's a big
hit.
Little or no gain. Josh Valentine, we've seen him lay on a couple of thundering hits, and there's another one. So it will be now 3rd and 6.
Josh Valentine, where's he from? He's from Libby. 6'5", 220.
Another first-team All-City player for the Cowboys.
He played basketball, too.
Well, any football team named the Cowboys, I guess, got to be okay. Although they've never been my favorite organization.
I don't know why
I must say that.
I don't know why you said that.
Rowe is back to pass. He's being rushed from the blind side. Got it off, broke it up on a good defensive play there by number 12, Ryan Fruth of Holgate. That was a well-thrown ball, but Fruth alertly batted it down. The intended receiver, number 29, or number 19, Dustin Dower. Here's a look at him. And with this weather, he can't wait to get back to Santa Barbara, I would think.
He hasn't even been there yet, has he?
Yeah, he came back to play in this game.
Oh, did he?
That throw was just a little bit offline, and that allowed Fruth to break it up. 4th down punting situation.
I saw his dad here tonight.
Yep. And they're going to put the return on. He could have faked that one, and he'd still be running. Punt by Brent Simon, number 11. It rolls dead at the 13-yard line, and that is where the gold team will put it in play. And as soon as the ball was snapped, everybody just peeled back. It reminds me of that game for the MAC championship back in 1994 when Bowling Green was playing Central Michigan, and the slowest player on the field was the punter for the Central Michigan Chippewas. And he noticed in the 4th quarter of a very close game, Bowling Green was leading by a few points, that everybody went back to put the return on, and he went 84 yards for a touchdown and won the MAC title for Central that year.
Yeah, you don't have to be very fast if you're running the same way that the defenders run.
Yeah, that's right.
And they're ahead of you.
Larry Seipel did that for the Dolphins to preserve that undefeated season of theirs in 1972 and a championship with the Steelers. At 3 yards on first down, a handoff to Kalfani Rice.
Went over the left side, over his guard and tackle.
Dan Orta made the tackle of defiance. 5'11", 340. He's a first-team All-Stater.
You think he could run up to the press box faster than he can?
I think he was first-team All-State defensive line. Made the stop there. So he's even bigger than the other player that we were talking about.
Not very tall, though.
Drew Perry Amami.
Timeout.
2nd and 8. Like 4 minutes remaining here in the second quarter. Once again, the scoreboard was knocked out of commission by the Lightning, we understand. So they're keeping the time on the field. We'll keep you abreast of time remaining as we're able. Baker back in the game. Danny Baker from Findlay arches the ball downfield, nearly intercepted, but then it's gathered in by Sellers. Steve Sellers, the 35. It looked like a sure interception, but it ends up being caught. Let's take a look at it.
There's a throw. Now, 26 had it, tipped it, and there he goes. He juggled it a little bit himself, but he maintained it.
Blake Bolton
Big
of
game.
Napoleon looked to have a gift interception, but instead it goes for the longest gain of the football game by far. And the ball is on the black team 31-yard line. So chalk up a gain of 56 yards on that play. Baker in the shotgun. Pass into the flat, complete to Rice, and he is put down immediately after a short gain. Fred Blanton of St. Francis. And let's go back down to the field.
Tom Cole live down on the sideline for the BCSN in the All-Star game. I've got with me Jim Lyle, the head football coach at Adrian College. Jimmy, you have 4 players here playing in the game today.
Yeah, we do. On the gold squad, we have Matt Spangler and Wes Farver. And on the black squad, we have Bubba Valdez and Brett Simon. They're all good football players, all from the Toledo area.
And Jimmy, it never rains in Toledo on Friday night, okay? JK and Greg, back up to you.
I think it never rains in Southern California, if I'm properly informed. 2nd and 7. We mentioned and we heard from Jim Herrmann, defensive coordinator at Michigan. Tom Cole got to work with outstanding quarterbacks at Michigan as well. Long pass by Danny Baker, and he was going for Steve Whitlow from Toledo Christian. Flag down, possibly interference there.
There were 3 defenders right on him, so that there's a good possibility there was some pushing.
And if so, it was probably needless because that was not going to be a completed pass by all evidence.
I got to peek around the corner to even see what's going on, so.
Flag is
He's talking to the black captain, so it's against the off. Oh, no, it isn't. It's against the black. Okay. 15-yard penalty.
In the old days, that would put the ball on the 1-yard line, which at times seemed to almost be too severe a penalty. So instead, they get the 15-yard walk-off. And that will put the ball
on the 20 or 15.
15-yard line, 1st and 10. Black team leading 7-0, and here's the Gold's first real threat of this game. And they have benefited by a pass that nearly was intercepted. And now this pass interference penalty.
Well, we got to see if the defense can dig in and stop him now.
3 receivers to the left. Lone setback, Calfani Rice. And he takes the handoff and burrows forward a couple of yards to the 13.
Danny Baker's back in there, quarterback, and he took it from under the center, so he wasn't in the shotgun that time.
See whether take to heart the admonition that we heard that perhaps he was holding on to the ball a little bit too long. And he certainly benefited on that 56-yard completion, although perhaps that was more good fortune than anything on that occasion. 2nd down and 8 from the black 13.
Looks like a line drive in the morning paper, though.
Yeah, that's right.
It's a
Absolutely.
56-yard completion. That's all that counts.
Yeah, that immaculate reception was just a touchdown pass for Terry Bradshaw.
Just another touchdown pass, right.
Baker passes it to the edge of the goal line. It looked like it was possibly trapped, but they gave him the catch at the 1-yard line, and a good grab there by number 21, A.J. Johns of Perrysburg.
That was Mitch Bruss, I think. I'm 81. Yeah. Yeah, they gave him a catch.
Yes, Mitch Bruss of St. John's, tight end there.
He's just about on the goal line, too, isn't he?
That looked very close. I thought it hit the ground, in all honesty. But it was certainly one that could have gone either way, and it did.
Maybe he has real long fingers, though. If we could, you know.
Well, he made an outstanding catch there.
No, they gave him an interception.
Okay, our first.
What the heck is it?
First instinct was correct.
Yeah.
Interception.
Yeah. Where were we?
So it will be 1st and 10 for the Blacks inside their own 1-yard line. Let's take a look at this play.
There he's got his receiver. He fires it. Oh, yeah, there it is.
Well, that's what happened. It looked like he had it, but then it bounded up over him, and they made the catch. So that's why it appeared that it was a completed pass.
Yeah, he had his hands under it all right, but it just popped out of his hands, and it was picked off.
Very difficult to see from our vantage point with all the bodies flying around there. So that is good camera angle, good work down there.
Yeah, we really know what we're talking about. It was just that we missed that.
Couldn't see it.
Couldn't see it pop up. Yeah, there were too many bodies down there.
It must have been an umbrella in our way. So a very fortunate turn of events for the black team, but on the other hand, it took some fortunate turns of events to get the gold team that far down the field.
They're in bad field position right now. They got to get it out of there if they can. They can't be fumbling the snap down here.
They've got to take care of the football, or the price will be very high.
Kelly Rowe took it out to about the 3 or 4 yard line there, so got a little more room.
It's a safe play, but you got to field the snap. That's the main thing.
Yeah. And I bet he's thinking about that a little bit too. You know, he's.
Tackle on the play by number 33, Josh Hood from Perrysburg High School.
So it will be 2nd and 7 from the shadow of their own goal line, if there was a shadow. Well, maybe the lights will cast a shadow on the goal post. 7-0 for the Black All-Stars, and we were expecting a real offensive extravaganza, but the weather has
kind of dictated that, yeah.
Put the deep 6 on that.
Is it still raining?
Maybe misting.
Yeah, a little bit.
2nd and 7. Hood, second player through. And good pursuit there, and they drive him to the turf just barely beyond the goal line.
Yeah, good defense there, that's for sure. Good pursuit. They were all out there. They weren't fooled at all with that one.
That's called gang tackling.
Gang tackling is right.
And we're going to have a 3rd and long. And if they are denied a first down, the gold team will have yet another opportunity. Got a timeout on the field. And gold team discuss things defensively, and they're the ones benefit by stopping the clock. We have 41 seconds remaining in the first half, we're told, so time is of the essence.
Yes, it is. Yeah, if they don't get the first down, they still got a punt, and there'll still be plenty of time for the gold team to do something with the ball.
They've got another timeout to burn here, but that will be it. So after one half of football, keeping in mind, obviously, that the weather has had a major impact on this game, what's been your impression of the talent we've seen out here in this game?
Well, I think there's plenty of talent out there, but the weather, as you say, has been bad, and usually it takes them a little while in an all-star game to get it together anyway. They got to get the quarterbacks used to the center, and they got to get the guards used to the center and tackle that they're next to. So the second half may bring some more. They may settle down a little bit. Maybe the rain will stop, and we can see the offensive display we thought we'd see.
I would not bet against that. 3rd and 9. He's going to try to throw it from out of the end zone. Long pass downfield, and it's caught just past the 40 on a great catch by Brandon Kramer. And so much for having to punt from their own end zone. But a flag is down.
Probably celebration again. There's the pass to Kramer. It's long and high, and he makes a nice catch. He fell down. Now, I think they throw the flag for celebrating here, which is, whoops, he looked like he got hurt a little bit.
I don't know if he hurt his back or what there, but yes, evidently that was what it was. So.
Well, they got to curb this stuff. But
I think you can show exuberance without
you don't have to do
putting
that
frosting on like that.
Yeah. Got to learn to settle down. It's only a game, boys.
Go down to Tom Cole at halftime. Hopefully we'll have a chance to talk to Pat Pichardo, one of the coaches in this game for the black team, and he was also a player on a Mid-American Conference Championship team at Bowling Green State University. That was quite a turnabout, as they had a very difficult few seasons under Mo Ankney, and then Gary Blackney came in and won them a championship his first 2 years, and Pat Gacciardo played on that first of those two teams in 1991.
Just time for a couple plays here.
Pass out in the flat, complete to L.J. Helton. Broke a tackle, got out just past the 40-yard line. Can only be mere seconds remaining here in the opening half. But certainly, even if it doesn't figure on the scoreboard, that long completion of about 40 yards from Rowe to Kramer, very, very important in this game, because it deprives the Gold team of what would have been a very great scoring opportunity.
There must be time for only about 1 or 2 plays left, I would say, depending on what the play does.
Another timeout on the field. The only touchdown of this game was a 2-yard run by Edwin Hood for the black squad, heading to BGSU, and he really was the one that broke that drive open with a 25-yard run from scrimmage, which was really the first big gainer of the game, then came back with another run of 8 yards, so 33 yards covered in 2 plays, and then it was a quarterback rollout by Kelly Rowe that got them all the way down to the 13, and then they just methodically pushed it in.
Yeah, there hasn't been too much running of the football today anyway. They're putting it up in the air. They'll probably put it up in the air now too. Dower and Kramer out here to the left. Pretty good receivers.
40-yard line. First down. Rowe, once again, will wing it. Down deep, looking for Kramer again, and he very nearly made the fingertip catch. And right now, I'd say he's been about the outstanding player of this game, and I certainly would think that if he made that catch.
Yeah, it was a good throw. The throw was there. Watch the throw now. He throws the ball awful high.
Not exactly a spiral, but
he ran under it. That's okay. You can throw a knuckleball as long as it gets there.
And that would have been really almost the exact same play that he made on the earlier pass.
Yeah.
And really, it looked like he was going to haul that in. Second down, 10 from the 40.
Well, that 15-yard penalty really hurt him too. That, after that big catch.
Right, yes.
That set him back.
Second time they've been penalized for excessive celebration in this game. The other time was after the touchdown. Rowe is going to be snowed under if he can't get away. He does get away. Was nearly flung to the turf. Now he's going to go out of bounds at the 30-yard line and cut his losses after he was just harried by Chris Roster of Perrysburg, and that is the end of the half. Let's take a look at this. Amazing
look at the
how he
breakdown
escaped
here.
this.
The backside guy just comes flying in. Nobody touched him. Now he's got him, but he gets away from him somehow.
There's a Houdini act for you.
Now he's got panic in his heart. Get me out of here. He's gonna get out of bounds. The end of the half.
See Edwin Hood trying to run a little interference there, but to no avail. So the first half will end 7-0 with the black team leading the Gold All-Stars at the end of 2 quarters of play here from Steininger Stadium in Perrysburg. And the 2-yard run by Edwin Hood spelling the difference. The Gold team coming very close, and a strange interception where it looked like the receiver had the ball in his grasp at the 1-yard line, in fact, inside the 1-yard line, and then it just kind of looped right over him and resulted in the interception. And let's go down to the sidelines.
Tom Cole down on the field at halftime of the BCSN All-Star Game. It's my pleasure and privilege to have the Steve Spurrier of high school football, Pat Gacciardo Jr. And Coach, it's got to be fun for you. A, it's an all-star game, and B, you got Kelly Rowe back there. I love the way this kid plays football, Coach. What's your feeling?
Well, being a former quarterback, it's a lot of fun to coach a guy with as much talent as Kelly has. And, you know, the rain and the weather hasn't cooperated, so we've had to go to a little bit of plan B, and he's adjusted great. He's done a few things on his own, and Petey Hood and Ryan Kersey and some of the other guys have done a great job of picking up the passing slack that we're lacking right now, and the offensive line, in my opinion, is doing an outstanding job taking care of business up front, and hopefully we'll hold on to a 7-0 lead right now.
Coach Pat's really one of the bright young minds in City League football, and you get a chance to go out and watch his aerial circus this football season at Start Do It. Coach, thank you so much for your time. Good luck in the second half.
Thank you.
Back up to you guys.
Okay, thanks, Tom. There's one of the younger fans at this game. Doesn't seem to bother her. She's maybe getting a little wet. Black team leading the gold team here at halftime of the Regional All-Star Football game, 7-0. Let's take a break, and we'll be back on BCSN. And there's a look at some of BCSN's finest out here. As I understand, there's going to be halftime contest. If we produce a winner, they'll get a chance to go out and try their luck at kicking field goals in this inclement weather. Always wanted to try to kick a field goal on a rainy field like that. Did you handle your team's kicking duties at Central?
Yeah, I did, but in those days you didn't kick field goals. There wasn't many field goals kicked at all. I never tried a field goal. We had one chance, one opportunity for a field goal attempt, and the coach let this guy from the east side of the city of Toledo the drop kick in the street on the east side and let him try to drop kick a field goal, and he missed it horribly. So that ticked me off. I wanted a chance to kick one. But
well, you know, Lou Groza was a linesman. He did all right as a kicker.
Yeah, but the game has changed, you know. You used to go for touchdowns. Now you go for field goals.
That's right.
So.
Yeah, Johnny Unitas used to have that famous game in 1958, first overtime game. Some more of the fans here. And the question was, they got down to the 1-yard line in overtime in the first overtime game ever. And they said, why didn't you go for the field goal? And Johnny Unitas said, I never put much stock in field goals. I wanted to get the touchdown. And then they did.
That's right. That's the attitude in those days, yeah.
He put the ball in the air from the 9-yard line, a very dangerous play there. And here
Veronica
I
with
think we've got
lining up our kickers, yeah.
Ronnie Pinciotti there. And look like our lucky winners that are going to get a chance to split the uprights. Well, you never got a chance to kick a field goal. Why don't you go down there and participate?
Nobody asked me.
I'm asking you right now. Jerry Kramer used to kick for the Packers. Paul Horning. A lot of the outstanding kickers played other positions.
Yeah, Pat, the golf announcer.
Oh, Pat Summerall, that's right.
Pat Summerall,
yep,
yeah,
yep.
He's a good kicker.
He was an end for the Giants.
Yeah. Minnie Mavrides from Notre Dame. See, you never heard of him.
You got me on that one.
There you go, I got you.
All right, we got Tom Cole standing by on the sidelines. Tom?
Tom Cole down on the field, halftime of the BCSN All-Star Game, and we've got some guys here, gentlemen who I'll let you introduce yourselves. We'll go one by one. We've got Anthony Wayne football, St. John's football, Anthony Wayne football.
I'm Matt Persinger from Anthony Wayne High School.
I am Matt Langell from St. John's High School.
And I'm Jason Sadowski from Anthony Wayne.
And Jason was, you picked the program with the star in it, that's correct. Jason's going to try and kick a field goal. We're going to spot it on the 10-yard line. You know, but Jason's a little bit of a homer. He brought in his holder in high school. Now, you were his holder all during the high school, is that correct?
Yeah, he's been kicking since his sophomore year, and I've been holding since his junior year. So we're used to it.
And Mr. Langell is a ringer from St. John's, an outstanding football player at St. John's. And, Matt, you're going to snap?
Yeah, that's right. I just found these guys, and they want me to snap for them, so do the best I can.
All right. And do we have another contestant? And your name, sir?
Teddy Morris.
Teddy, all right. You're going to line up and kick against these fellas. We have another person coming in. Come in, sir. Come right in. And your name, sir?
Ronnie Tisdale.
Oh, wow, Ronnie. I know you. You run. Yeah, you can run the football a little bit, can't you?
Oh, a little bit.
Yeah.
I don't know if I can kick it, though.
No, you can run it, though. Come on in, sir. And your name?
Okay, Nate.
Nate. Okay. You're not a ringer on us, are you, Nate?
No, I'm not. No, I've never played football. So.
Nate's never played. I think I saw him in the Kansas City Chiefs summer camp last year. You ready to go?
I'm ready.
All right. I'll tell you what. Let's do this, guys. Let's get set up at the 10-yard line. We'll get our snapper. We'll get our holder, and we're going to see who's going to win this thing. All right? Here we go.
Yeah. That 10 yards, that's a chip shot.
20.
Of course,
20,
the goalpost
yeah.
is 10 yards back, so it'll be a 20-yard.
Yeah.
Now, Sadowski, Jason Sadowski, we interviewed him after a baseball game, played for Anthony Wayne, delivered a game-winning hit. We'll see how he can kick. But now what if they fumble the snap? The kicker gets penalized if they fumble the snap?
You got me, buddy. I don't know. At halftime, I was always in the locker room getting instructions from the coaches. I don't know what went out at halftime.
That was a good snap, but that was just practice.
I don't know why they're even snapping it.
I think that from the ground rules that I was given beforehand, that if more than one kicker makes this, they might, I think they'll maybe have 3 prizes, but if they narrow it down to the first prize, they may keep kicking at further distances.
This is the guy that didn't play football, he said, right? Look where he's lining up.
All right, let's go back down to the sidelines.
Contestant number 1, lining up to give it a best shot from the 10-yard line. Let the drum move.
It's nice to be known as the tall kid in the red ball cap. Here we go. A hell of an approach there. Hooked it a little right. A little. Florida State could use you, big guy. Florida State against Miami. We're taking you wide right. We got another contestant. Mr. Tisdale can run with the football. We're going to find out if he can kick it. Matt Langell on the snap. High snap. Gets it down. Whoa. Tizzy, you were right. You can run it. You can't kick it. You almost killed your center, Tizzy. That's what you did. Okay. Here we go. He seems pretty confident. Good snap, good hold. A little left. Shank, I believe.
And I've got the name of the last guy, but I'm not allowed to give it because I didn't have the names of anybody else. So the guy in the blue.
All right, we've got the Anthony Wayne connection now. Mr. Sadowski's getting ready to kick. His man's on the hold. Oh, Shank and a fall. We get another round here, guys. We're going again. We're going again, fellas. Let's go. Yeah, we're going again. Same spot. We're going again, fellas. Here we go.
Okay, we're going to try to line up for round 2 or what?
Matt, the snaps are great.
We got a prize pack that we got to try and give away. So we're going to let these guys keep trying to make keep trying to make this field goal until somebody makes it.
Well, there it is. Looks like Jim O'Brien when he won the Super Bowl with that last-second field goal.
They got all the moves for winning, don't they?
They sure did.
The tackler tackled the kicker.
Earlier they looked like Scott Norwood when he lost the Super Bowl in the last seconds. You know what, though? I think those 7-step approaches might not get it off in time in a real game.
Might be a little trouble. Now this guy, he's got 5 yards. He fell down and he made it maybe. Yes, he did.
Oh, he fell down after he kicked that
ball.
Fell
down and made it.
I think they just needed to warm up a little bit.
I'll tell you.
And now in the second round, they're starting to connect here.
Tisdale won't make it, though.
No.
Whoops. No.
I think that holder maybe just juggled that a bit before contact. He got a lot more leg in it.
Now here we got the guy with the running start, the left footer. He's got 5 yards he's running to get to the ball. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 steps.
What a catch by Veronica Pizzotti.
Veronica.
Father must have taught her how to do that. She looked like she played for the White Sox.
She went up and got it.
Yeah, I don't think they'd get that over the charging line. Hit the uprights.
Too bad.
But it bounded the wrong way. Good backflip there. Jason Sadowski again. Oh, that looked good. They think they've won this contest.
It did go through. All right, one more.
Still waiting for an official word here. They're going to make him do this again? Well, illegal procedure? Okay,
no, that's the other
he got it. He got it.
It's the guy that hit the crossbar. That's good.
And he just oofed it over. Now they're starting to find the range here. So they're down to these two, evidently. Sadowski's kicking again. That's the best kick we've seen yet. End over end. Splits the uprights. That looks like that McDonald's commercial. Split the uprights.
You know, I noticed one thing out here, that there's no umbrellas up anymore. So.
No, they can't blame the rain anyway.
We got the rain stopped, yeah.
All right, I think we're going to have the winner presented with a BCSN prize pack. And they show the medal ceremonies at the Olympics, so we might as well show this.
Oh,
right?
yeah. This is big. This big time. Friday night prime time. How's that?
Yep, absolutely. Well, it's been one of the more entertaining halftime shows that I've seen recently, and let's go down for this presentation.
Tom Cole at halftime, back at the All-Star game at Perrysburg High School. We had a monumental kickoff here, and we want to again introduce our winner. We had two winners today from Anthony Wayne, big guy.
Jason Sadowski.
And this guy's a hell of a quarterback, by the way. Tizzy, come on in there so they can see your face. You were a hell of a poor kicker, but you can run the football. So, and sir, also reintroduce yourself.
Teddy Morse.
Teddy, we've got two winners today. Everybody's a winner, though. The snappers, our holders, the Anthony Wayne connection, and Tizzy. Thanks so much, guys. Our big man in the red baseball cap, we had a great time, and prizes galore. So thank you so much. We'll take it back upstairs.
All right, let's take a break, and we'll be back getting ready for second half action here at this regional all-star football game. Black over gold, 7-0, back in a moment on BCSN. Back at Steinecker Stadium in Perrysburg, the Black All-Stars leading the gold 7-0. We've got some first half statistics, and one really jumps off the page, and this really, I think, emphasizes the problems with the field conditions as much as anything. The gold team, 7 attempted rushes for a grand total of minus 18 yards. And the black team with 6 fumbles, although they didn't lose any. Here's the one touchdown that was scored. Probably the one missed open field tackle right there, as Chad Zellin had a good shot at Hood, but he just managed to slice his way into the end zone to give the black team their 7-0 lead. And then here's the cake stand or whatever they did that resulted in the excessive celebration penalty. Black, take a look at the interception that we had earlier. This is the one right on the goal line, as it looked like it was caught by Mitch Bruss, but then it went right over his helmet and was intercepted at the goal line there. And that was potentially a real turning point in the game. And we had a long completion. And let's look, coming right out of the end zone, inside the 1-yard line, a 40-yard pass. Kelly Rowe, and an outstanding catch here by Brandon Kramer there, and he almost made an identical catch a couple of moments later. And John, I think, as we were saying earlier, I think, and there's another excessive celebration penalty, but he's probably been the most impressive player in that first half.
Yeah, he gets out there, he gets open, and he goes after the ball. And don't forget, though, somebody's laying it up there for him, too. Kelly Rose getting it out there and getting it up in the air so he can have a chance to run under it.
So those are the highlights. 7-0 Black over the Gold, and we'll be back with more Regional All-Star football in a moment on BCSN. Back at Steiniger Stadium, and it appears that the rain has finally ceased and desisted, as we have no more umbrellas in evidence. And so who knows, maybe this will be a signal to open the floodgates offensively as we move into the second half of this game. Greg Franke along with John Keller, Tom Cole down on the sidelines, and I was asking you, John, about had the opportunity to participate in any All-Star games and to maybe share some reminiscences, and you had one that you were telling me about.
The baseball one?
Baseball All-Star game.
Bought a brand new glove for $29.95, took it down to Columbus for the All-Star game and got it stolen. So that was my fond memory of the All-Star games in the state of Ohio.
Well, you're in good company. Joe DiMaggio had his bat stolen in the midst of his 41-game hitting streak.
But what I must say, though, that really did me a favor, because then when I signed with the Reds about a month later, 2 months later, I told them I didn't have a glove. I had to borrow a glove to go down and work out for the Reds, and so they got me signed with McGregor for 2 gloves and shoes every year. So that was nice.
Oh, that's kind of a forerunner to all the endorsement contracts that we see at the
yeah,
Major League
McGregor would have
level
definitely
now.
had me if, you know, but.
You would have been willing to do their commercials?
Absolutely. I'd have done anything for free equipment.
All right, there is the Gold All-Star team, and some more statistics. We had 7 statistics for the Black team to 2 for the Gold in the first half. The Black team was significantly more successful with their rushing game, 24 carries for 82 yards, just over 3 yards a carry, to the Gold 7 for -18. Passing, Black team 3 for 9, 1 interception, 68 yards. Gold 5 for 10, 1 interception, 67 yards. Total offense 150 for the Black team, 49 for the Gold. Penalties 4 for the Black for 49 yards, 1 on the Gold, 3 yards. And fumbles, 6 fumbles, none lost by the Black, 1 fumble, 1 loss for the Gold. Underway in the second half. Short kickoff. fielded by Steve Whitlow from Toledo Christian, and he's out to the 20-yard line, 30-yard line that is. And so the Gold team will get reasonably good field position if they can start moving the football.
Well, we got to see who's in there at quarterback now for the Gold squad.
It's like Danny Baker once again.
Danny Baker is in there, yes he is.
He has not put on his Ben Roethlisberger imitation just yet. What an outstanding athlete he was. I saw him play basketball for the Trojans, and he was very good in that sport, but obviously football was his calling. 4 great years at Miami. Good rush on first down, and Baker sacked behind the line. Looked like he fumbled the football. Apparently got it back.
Yeah, his protection wasn't very strong on that play. He just got back. He didn't get a chance to step up into a pocket, and the guy came in and clobbered him. So that was, you can hardly blame him for that. He didn't have a chance to look around too much there.
That's another way that the game has changed. Just reflecting on the way he's willing to stand in the pocket and take his lumps if necessary. It used to be that that's what you had to be in a quarterback till Fran Tarkenton came along and made the scrambler kind of the wave of the future. And now, of course, a lot more mobile quarterbacks than was in days gone by. And here is Baker trying to run. Got away from one potential tackler, away from 2. Finally throws it upfield, and he's got the completion once again to Whitlow. And he is knocked out of bounds, the 44-yard line, and that'll be a first down. And that was very good improvisational
that was a nice
play there by Baker.
That was a nice scramble by, there he goes now. He cuts back the other way. He's ready to go, and he looks upfield and spots the receiver. Good throw, good catch. Secure the ball and get out of bounds. Good play.
For the first time, we really saw a good throw by the right-hander rolling to the left. But that time it was not by design. He was simply forced into that.
Yeah, he had plenty of time. He was being chased by Dan Orta of Defiance, a 5'11", 340-pounder. So he did put a move on him and made him go to the left. But Orta was in hot pursuit of him. Nobody touched him.
Now, if he can develop the speed of a Nate Newton, who knows how far he can go.
Nobody blocked him there either. He's loose again.
What a hit there in the backfield. Laid on by Bubba Valdez.
Yeah.
And that's going to be a loss of a couple of yards.
Bubba Valdez from Southview.
Calfani Rice, the ball carrier, and he had a very, very hard crash there immediately upon taking that football.
Second down about 12, maybe 13.
Yep, ball on the 41-yard line of the Gold All-Stars. Do they finally look like they might have gotten something going? They've thrown into reverse on the first play of the sequence. And go in the shotgun again. Once again, 3 receivers to the right. Another heavy rush, and Baker's put down again, and this time it is Jeremy Cousineau that records the sack.
Now what happened there, he didn't catch that snap from the center. The center was low, but he should have come up with it, and the fact that he didn't come up with the ball in time hurt him.
Jeremy Cousineau from Northwood, one of the 2 Northwood Cousineaus in this ball game. Kind of reminded of Tom Cousineau, former Ohio State grade on that play.
And Tom Cousineau that owns all the restaurants on the east side in Toledo, too.
Yep.
I'd rather be that Tom Cousineau than the one who played football.
So now it's 3rd and about a mile.
Yeah.
Ball on the 30. 24 yards to go. Baker once again running in the backfield. Pass is incomplete. Intended for Steve Reddick.
Here comes Roland now. Here comes Reddick. And number 26 comes in and lets him have it. 26 is Blake Bolton from Napoleon.
Looked like he was open there on that replay, but the pass was just that much behind him. I guess that's what you call a buddy pass.
Yeah, you get this, when you get yourself in trouble by losing a lot of yardage on a play, you really hurt your offense. Now we got Eric Solis in the punt for Rossford.
Solis, a first-team All-State punter in 2002 and 3. There's a good example of why. A high kick. Dustin Dower fumbled it, got it back. Broke a couple of tackles, but no penetration there, and he's brought down about the 38-yard line. So that is where the Black All-Stars will put it back into play, trying to build on their 7-0 lead.
Well, we're going to see who they're going to use at quarterback.
Just under 10 minutes remaining in the third quarter, we're told. Again, the scoreboard is blacked out due to the told it's had something to do with the lightning, but I know the electrician was
yeah.
Yeah. All right. New quarterback into the ball game. And it is number 4, Demetrius Jones of Ayersville. Got it out on the left flat, and Kramer trying to make something happen, but he's brought down by Josh Heidebrink of Rossford. And they've come together a lot, I'm sure, in the Northern Lakes League. Kramer of Anthony Wayne, you see him leaving the field.
There's Demetrius Jones coming back, faking and turns to his left and throws a nice little pass out to Brandon Kramer. Now, Kramer tries too many moves here. He should have just cut up and went straight up the field. But to try to get 4 or 5 more yards. But you always try to break that big play if you can. That's why those wide receivers like to be called wide receivers.
Remember Eric Allen, the flea. He used to just try to score on every play, even if it meant running 30 yards back. And the trouble was, a lot of times, he never made it back to where the original reception was made. Demetrius Jones, Gatorade Player of the Year. Quarterback. Pitch out to the right and losing his footing, Sean Cousineau. It might have been just as well because he was about to get drilled.
Yeah.
Number 9, Austin Mayberry, finished off
Yeah,
the play.
Here's the pitch to the right, and he starts, and nothing. There's nothing. He tried to cut, and his feet went out from him, but he would have got nailed anyway.
I think that was rather fortuitous that he went down when he did. And now it will be 3rd and 13 from the 36-yard line.
Like they say, you got to know when to hold them and know when to fold them, baby.
That's right.
You see that guy coming at you with a full steam on them. Whoa. What do we got? 3rd down and 13?
So first long yardage situation, confronting Demetrius Jones.
I think we should be paying more attention to defense. They seem to be winning this battle.
Second man through, and again racked up. And a good tackle there by number 51, Mitch Mack of Clay.
That was Sean Cousineau.
Stopping Sean Cousineau.
Cousineau on a little draw play, a little delay, and then he cuts it up, but boy, comes through and makes a nice tackle.
That's called materializing out of nowhere.
Mitch Mack out of Clay High School make that tackle.
Got a good football program there. Outstanding team in the Great Lakes League before coming over to the city. And now the punter will be Brent Simon of Evergreen in the Northwest Ohio Athletic League. And he, low line drive, almost no trajectory on that, but he forced him way back. Ryan Fruth decides against gathering it up.
5-yard line.
And it's down right there. So probably a good decision by Fruth not to try to pick up that ball.
Yeah, he was. Yeah, that was just a low line drive that got over his head.
Typically speaking, you don't like that low trajectory, but that time he just shot it past the receivers.
That's a double in any game, you know, stand up double.
So that was a punt of about 59 yards.
49 of it roll.
Yeah, exactly.
So I hit my golf ball.
So it will be 1st and 95 for the gold team. Fortunately, they can do it in 10-yard increments.
That's a good boy, yeah. Jordan Pingle, I see, is in there from Anthony Wayne, 6'3", 250-pound defensive lineman. That's a pretty good size boy.
Andrew Stoats back in at quarterback. They've been switching off on the gold team. Tried that flare pass, but whistle.
Looks like they have a flag in the play. Somebody a little offside, I think.
Blacks are applauding, so it's like illegal procedure. So half the distance to the goal line. That's not a very long walk-off at this point.
Yeah, they're pretty much in the hole again. And this is what the defensive and kicking game has kept the other team in the hole. You can't do too much with offense when you're coming out of your own territory. You're deep in your own territory.
So the good news is it's first and not much more than 10, first and 12 and a half. The bad news is they're only a couple of yards out from their own goal line.
That's the bad news. And remember the snaps. We got to ensure we get the snaps. So, although the gold team hasn't had as much trouble.
Yep. Once again, the black team fumbled 6 times but didn't lose any. The gold team fumbled once and lost it in a key moment.
He's in the shotgun. Ooh, that almost
snapped
went over his
right by him. And he got, once again, that flare pass out and nearly breaking free and out to about the 9-yard line.
Calfani Rice, I believe that was.
Here you see the trouble he had fielding. In fact, a good job that he did fielding that.
It's Calfani Rice.
Calfani Rice. He almost really did something with that, but dragged. Sergio Manriquez just held on for dear life. And it's 2nd down and 9 to go.
We got Bruss coming back in again. And Sellers.
Sure, Bruss would like to redeem himself with a big catch here. There's Eric Soltis leaving the game. Bruss had the ball in his hand inside the 1-yard line. It just popped away and resulted in an interception.
We got Mick Mauter from Wade. He's had a lot of receptions at Wade High School over the years.
Running into his own man in the backfield and just run out by Stoats to the 10-yard line. Just a couple of yard gain. It'll be 3rd and about 7. And, of course, if they don't make it, they'll have to be, once again, punting from the end zone.
Yeah, this is a big defensive game. As I say, I spotted that one guy from Anthony Wayne out there, Jordan Pingle. And then we look at number 57, Chris Stone from Woodmore, 6'3", 220 defensive end. These guys are going to grow up when they get to college. They're going to start lifting weights seriously, and they're going to get a lot bigger. The ones that are going on to play. So
they're already pretty good sized.
Yeah, but they're going to really get into weightlifting when they get in college.
That's right. There's a pass to Calfani. Right, he reached back and was a little behind him, and it falls incomplete. So that will set up the punting situation. Of course, you can see the weightlifting will just do wonders for these players. Here's a look at the pass again.
Yeah, really badly underthrown, so he didn't have a chance to catch that.
So are you more of a passing quarterback, or?
No, I ran for my life. I had a little trouble with my eyes, a little trouble finding receivers sometimes, so I took off. I didn't hang around. I wasn't going to mess with those big fat tackles. I was getting out of there.
Low snap. Soltis dug it out well and booms it away. Dustin Dower handles it at the 46. And he's run backwards and stopped at his own 49. A great pursuit there. A tackle made by Craig Truax of Findlay, number 54.
6'5", 248. He got down there pretty fast.
Yep, 2nd team All-Stater, 1 of 8 on this gold squad. Wonder if he's any relation to Billy Truax, the old Ram receiver.
I doubt it.
I doubt it too, but still a good football name.
Yeah, he's the center.
Played with those Ram teams under George Allen. Late 60s and early 70s. So the ball right smack at midfield. But that really wasn't a case of the ball carrier running backward. He was just jolted backward. So 1st and 10, about midway through the 3rd quarter, 7-0 for the Black All-Stars, as you see.
Demetrius Jones from Ayersville, still a quarterback, so he's got him set in the I formation.
2nd series of the game that he's been in. Handoff to Edwin Hood, and he burst through to the 46. So they've done it differently. The gold team has been interspersing their quarterbacks at intervals, whereas Kelly Rowe played the first half for the Blacks, and now Demetrius Jones getting his shot. If you're a quarterback, which would you rather do? Know you're going to play a half or get to play throughout the game, but maybe not every series?
I don't know. Well, you think you can do the job every time you're in there. So to take you out in a situation would be kind of a slap in the face to you. But in an all-star game, it's different.
Yeah.
So it's
sure they planned it out ahead of time. I think they're showing blitz there. The flag flies.
Something happened.
What about reading defenses? Back in the 50s, I'm sure in high school level you get a lot of the plays exclusively in from the bench, but what do you pick up at the line of scrimmage when you're overlooking the defensive team?
Well, you pick up whether they're in a knot or even defensive line, and the coverages they're in, and who's picking up your flankers. If you're sending the guy in motion, who's going to pick them up, and if they're who's covering them. So you can be well aware of that. But you got to remember, in the early 60s when I played, late 50s, early 60s, they only called about 10 or 12 pass plays a game. And be lucky if they called 20. I mean, very lucky.
3 yards in a cloud of dust football, huh? Woody Hayes type
again,
ball.
there was no field goals either, so you went for first downs and you went for touchdowns.
Walk off against the Gold, so 2nd down and 1. They were apparently offside. Maybe a little over anxious as they looked like they were about to come with that blitz. Outside to Hood. There's a hurdle. As told you, he specialized in the hurdles in track, and he showed good form there as he got down to the 31-yard line.
He was high-stepping it.
Speaking of Edwin Hood, let's go down to the sideline.
J.K. and Greg, Tom Cole down in the field. I'll tell you what, guys, Petey Hood, extraordinary foot speed with Petey Hood. You know, there's fast in a 40, and I'm sure he's got that. Then there's football fast, and I want to tell you what, Petey Hood is football fast because when you watch him down on the field today, he's got a different gear than most of the guys out on the field. Hey, back up to you guys.
And we're going to see that at Bowling Green State University. Gail Sayers used to say that. He said that you can be really fast in a track uniform, but some guys aren't that fast in a football uniform, but apparently Hood is both.
And you run all together differently, too, so it's we'll see what he does here.
Oops. Jones play action. Flare past Kramer's got some room if he can beat a couple of tacklers, and he does. And he hurdles one. Must have learned something from Edwin Hood, and he's down inside the 20-yard line.
Yeah, I'm impressed with Brandon Kramer. He looks like a good receiver and knows what to do with the ball after he gets it.
Obviously, Hood would be the other player besides Kramer that would be considered as player of the game material. In fact, he scored the touchdown and made the 25-yard run that really launched that drive, so he'd have to be considered a serious candidate as well. And I would think he's going to make his presence felt at BGSU.
I don't know if they're talking about playing him on defense or offense.
He seemed to think that there's a good chance he'd be in the backfield, the offensive backfield.
Oh, yeah?
Of course, with Josh Harris headed perhaps to the NFL, they need somebody to step in and fill that void, and sure Hood would love to be the candidate for that. 2nd and short. Just outside the 20-yard line. Jones under pressure, but beat the rush and put the pass right on, but Fred Blanton of St. Francis just could not make the play inside the 10-yard line.
Looked like that ball might have been tipped. It's hard to see it here. He tipped it. No, he didn't. He missed it. Yeah, okay. He could have caught that ball. Pretty good throw.
So now it's 3rd and short from the 22.
Demetrius Jones is 6'3", 180, so he's got good size for a quarterback also. It's a good opportunity for them to get in the end zone again. It's 3rd down and what, about a foot?
Looks that way. That's 6'3" height. How important is it for the quarterback to have that height to be able to see over the defense?
Yeah, that definitely helps. You know, you don't have to be throwing in between guys all the time or going to peek around guys. Your offensive linemen are too big for you if you're 5'8", 5'7". 6'5", 6'6" tackles, you can't see over your own guys.
Long count, got it away, play action. Jones hit as he throws, but he's got an open receiver, just overthrown, and Dustin Dower could not quite run under that ball.
Yeah, if the field would be about 10 yards longer, he could have got to it because that was just overthrown, but it was a nice throw. And he was open.
And good job, Jones standing in as he was being heavily rushed on that play. In fact, he got a little punishment for his trouble there. And now it's 4th and short, and I would imagine they'll go for it.
Got a couple new receivers in there, so we'll see.
It's Fred Blanton to the right, L.J. Helton to the left, I formation.
Quarterback sneak.
Jones had trouble with the ball, got it to Hood.
That's first down.
Here's the bread and butter man, and he, got the first down, yes. And the drive will continue. So
There we
Edwin
go.
Hood carries the mail for him
Hand
on
off
that
to Hood
play.
to the right. There he goes. Didn't have very far to go, but he tried to get some more out of it.
Well, some good blocking there up front. Drove back the tackler, Chris Hertig.
We're on the 21-yard line now of the goal, so it's 1st and 10. And we got to be getting short of time in the third quarter, don't you
I
think?
think so. This has been a time-consuming march here.
Not throwing the ball a lot, yeah.
Before the game, the thought was going to be in the air most of this game. Another fake handoff. Lots of time to throw. Goalward, tipped and nearly caught, but dropped by receiver Kelly Rowe. So he's just having a hard time holding on to the football in any circumstance in this game.
Now the ball was tipped, and then it went right in Rowe's hands. Tipped and right there.
That was a gimme.
Oh.
Maybe his timing just a little thrown off, but you can obviously see that he's agitated.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That makes you mad. You know you can catch that.
And if it hadn't been tipped, I think it would have been surely caught because it was well thrown. And I just think that throwing off of the timing is what just disoriented him a bit. Although certainly I'm sure he'd be the first to tell you that there's no excuse for missing that one. Yep, so that was very close but no cigar. And timeout on the field. So the score still 7-0 for the Black over the Gold All-Stars. Let's take a break. More All-Star football coming up on BCSN in a moment. Back to action here, and it is 2nd down, 9 to go. Fumble on the play, but they got it back again, apparently. Little or no gain. Still 7-0 for the Black All-Stars over the Golds. It has been somewhat of an uneventful football game, but certainly in no small part due to this adverse weather circumstance that we've had. And be 3rd and 8 from just inside the 20-yard line. And if the Black team could get something across here, it would certainly strengthen their hand in this game.
I think you got to go with Hood. You know,
he's been the one who showed he can do it. And running into his own back, pass off to Dustin Dower, beat 2 tacklers, forging ahead inside the 10-yard line, close to the 1st down.
That was a good catch and run by Dustin Dower.
He's shown some good elusiveness with the ball in his hands.
There he goes. Ran to his own man and recovers to throw out to Dower. Makes a good move here to get past him. Makes another move. And still heads up the field. 1st and goal.
Very agile runner there, Dustin Dower. And I would think that that's something, too, running into your player in the backfield. That's got to be a function of just not having played with these players a lot.
Yeah, and, you know, he might have been missing on the snap a little bit again, too. He could have been juggling the ball a little bit. So many things can happen. But they're in good position now. They're inside the 10-yard line.
1st and goal from the 9. Timeout. That's the end of the quarter.
Yep.
So 3 quarters in the books. Gold team leading and threatening again. 7-0. And let's take a break, and we'll be back with our final quarter of All-Star football on BCSN in a moment. There's some of the fans that have not been deterred by the weather. See if we can make that out. Soltis, number 1. We love the kicker. I hate to tell you, but he's number 8. I guess number 8 on your lineup card, number 1 in your heart,
Number
right?
1 in your heart, that's right. And here we go.
It is first down and goal from just inside the gold team's 10-yard line.
Demetrius Jones behind center.
Moving the ball in the eye with 2 receivers to the right. Here's Edwin Hood again. If he can get to the outside, he's dangerous, and he scores. Second touchdown of the game.
No, he's out of bounds.
Well, they might have pushed him out just shy of the goal line.
Yeah. Couple yard line, yeah.
So
that's the guy to give the ball to, though. He turned that corner pretty quick, didn't he?
Thought he had just gotten inside that peg, but evidently I don't know if he was pushed out or he just didn't have the angle, but he certainly had the clear path to the goal line. So it is second down, and I would say there's a good chance that he still may get his second touchdown of the game here.
Yeah, I think they're on about the 2-yard line. He's not, yeah, he's in there. Is he in there?
Yep,
Yeah.
lone setback. Second down and goal from the 2-yard line. Jones rolling right and try to throw for it. Got an open player, but can't connect. And it will go to third down there, a diving attempt in the end zone.
What is that?
Like Helton, L.J. Helton.
Oh, okay.
Jersey kind of pulled up on the coverage. It was Matt Spangler of Delta. And it will now be third and goal.
You may see that kicker.
Got goal line.
We may see that kicker, you know.
Yeah, just might. He might have to live up to that billing of number 1. It's an outstanding kicker. 2-time first-team All-State selection. And they're going to try one more time here, perhaps twice. Second player through is Dower, driving forward, close to the goal line, no signal. They might have stopped him just shy. See that confluence of defenders there, stopping Dower just as it looked like he was crossing the plane, and it is now 4th and inches. I'd go for it because if they don't score, they're still 99 yards away, although a field goal is inviting too. Make it a 10-point game in the 4th quarter in which offense has been hard to come by. They're going to go for it. In that eye, sneaking for it, Demetrius Jones is over for the touchdown.
Yeah.
So a few plays after, it looked as though Edwin Hood had scored. They do get that second touchdown. There goes the cannon again. Saw on the football follies once where they set that cannon off right in the player's face. He was shaken, to say the least. There's the quarterback sneak for the touchdown, and that makes it 13-0. And now we will have Manriquez to try to convert and make it a 14-0 ball game. Kick is up, and perfect. So 1-yard touchdown sneak by Demetrius Jones, tacked on to the 2-yard touchdown by Edwin Hood, and it is a 14-0 game with the black team leading the goals. Just into the 4th quarter here from Steinecker Stadium, and certainly, John, I would think now, regardless of the lack of success and the difficulties involved, I think the gold team is going to have to try to open up the offense.
I definitely agree with you. They're going to have to throw the ball. They got to get some good field position off this kickoff, though. They can't be starting out way down deep in their own territory. They got to get it out to about the 25 or 30-yard line. We'll see what happens because we've got a good kicker. For the black team,
Manriquez of Ayersville.
Yes.
He was second-team all-district kicker. By the way, I want to mention something about all these players. the number of players that are going into very serious academic disciplines in college really speaks well for not only the athletic ability but the intelligence on this team. You see guys going into engineering and computer science and pre-med and all sorts of different fields, business, and it is quite a good thing to see.
Okay.
Enriquez kickoff is a low line drive fielded at the 16-yard line. What a hit there is laid on Ryan Fruth. It was number 56, James Blankenship of Northwood. And let's take a look at this. He sank the ship on that tackle. Oh. And it was a very, very earth-shattering hit there at the 25-yard line, and so that's where they are. Not bad field position, but there was no return to speak of there. 1st and 10. And in at quarterback, still Stoats. Andrew Stoats of Edgerton. He's probably been the more successful of the two quarterbacks. There's offside. We'll have to see whether it was the defenders being drawn off or whether they jumped.
I'll tell you what, that Orta from Defiance is a handful to handle up there. He's only, you know, he's 5'10". What is he? 5'11", 340 pounds, and he's got some quickness.
Yep, and he's got that low center of gravity. He can just drive right through you.
I wonder where he's going to school, or if he is going. Got any note on that?
On most of the players here, but in the program, excellent information in the program, but it says undecided for Dan Orta in terms of his college plans. I would think that there's a good chance he'll be playing some football somewhere.
I don't know. He's got a pretty quick move.
Anybody who can be 340 pounds and that quick says something, and yet that's really the way it is in the
Fumbled
NFL
snap.
these days. Another fumbled snap. Again recovered by the offensive team, but kills another down. So it is going to be another long yardage situation. Stoats, that is, recovered his own fumble. How many of those have we seen in this game?
Oh, yeah. Plenty.
2nd and 8. They're going to go into the shotgun.
Yeah, I haven't seen him since the first half.
Again, with just the single setback. Flood the right side. Stoats with a flare pass, and that was intended for Calfani Wright, but overthrew him, and it will be 3rd and 8. So nobody has really been able to get anything going with much consistency, although the black team has been able to grind out a couple of touchdown drives. And that's been the extent of it.
Calfani Rice is 5'8", 220 pounds. From Woodward. He's a tailback. He's a load. They get him the ball, and he can go, but they can't get him.
He's headed for BGSU and majoring in film and producing. There's a pass tip, intercepted. And once again, a tip ball results in an intercepted pass. And it looks like number 7, Kyle Keeler, making the interception. There's the tip. Just tipping it over the intended target, and that is going to possibly be a nail in the coffin of the gold team, almost certainly if they can convert this into points starting from the gold team's 38-yard line. 9:48 to go in the ball game, so if they can keep it on the ground, run some time off, and then score a touchdown, this game is going to be all but decided, but it's going to take some doing. 38 yards away. Demetrius Jones. Pardon me, Chris Herdig is now the quarterback. Jones was number 4, Herdig number 14. And first handoff goes to Sean Cousineau of Northwood and maybe got a yard. Getting up from the bottom of that pile, Josh Valentine of Libby. And it will be 2nd and 9.
They got Chris Titchie from Patrick Henry in at fullback or running back. Titchie, would you pronounce that?
Yep, well, it's close.
Oh, okay.
TietjE. Have most of the pronunciations, but not all of them were given to us into the public address before the game. So many different schools involved here.
Yeah.
There's a pitch wide to the left. Cousineau cannot turn the corner. Flag flies. And see who that goes against, but certainly not a big gain on the play, and it is going to be against the Blacks. And now here, do you take the yardage or do you give them the 3rd and long? The ball just inside the 40-yard line. Let's take a look at this. Still quite a bit of rain coming there, as you see in the background. Thought that it had more or less stopped. We don't have too many umbrellas up, and there's the good pursuit defensively. It's going to be a long walk-off, so they're going to give them that 15-yard penalty. Holding is the call, and that'll push them all the way back to the 47-yard line. So it will be 2nd down and 20. Had it just been a 5-yard penalty, it might have been a little bit of a decision they'd have to make. 3rd and 9 or 2nd and 14, but that was a no-brainer. Consider our MVP ballots. There's a big rush as Herdig was back to pass, and he is just piled under. Josh Heidebrink of Rossford coming in on the safety blitz, and he's joined by 2 other teammates in laying that hit on. I think probably you'd have to go with Edwin Hood for the player of the game for the Black, and for the goal, I don't know. Maybe the punter. I think that's who I'm going to pick. Did you get a ballot?
Yeah.
Okay.
I don't have a gold player though.
Like I said, the punter's had a good game. 3rd down and 25 from the 48-yard line of the goal team. They're back in their own territory now. Cousineau, 2nd man through, and he is really racked up. No gain.
Yeah, he got hit.
Here the tackle was made there by number 55 in gold, Wes Kistner of Eastwood. And he's had a couple of big hits in this game. And really, there have been some players that you could almost look for as MVPs just defensively, because the one thing we have seen, there's a lot of good, solid hits in this game. It's the kind of game that would make the 7 blocks of granite proud. Fairly notable coach was one of those guys, a guy named Lombardi. There's a pretty good punt, fair catch signal. They didn't really give him much room. And a good kick there by Brent Simon. Fruth handles it, and it will be put in play at about the 15-yard line. There is Ryan Fruth, number 12, who had to concentrate on that ball despite being really having his neck breathed down. 7:05 left in this game here tonight. Tom
you got
Cole
yours done?
down on the field. Looks like a kind of lonely figure down there.
Nobody will talk to him.
He's the only one on the far side of the field. I think we might hear from him shortly, just to make sure we know we haven't forgotten him. Here's Danny Baker back in the game. Puts a little screen pass out. Possibly some running room here. Coleman breaking 2 or 3 tackles.
Right.
He's at midfield and pushed out of bounds. That is Steve Coleman of Woodward, all the way to the 50-yard line.
Yeah.
That was a well-conceived screen there.
There it goes. Here he comes now. He's got a load too now. He's not very big, but he's heavy. He's 210. Makes a nice cut. A little stiff arm. Broken tackle. Up down the sidelines, and another stiff arm, and runs over the defensive backs.
And there was a case where Danny Baker, 6'3", really served him well, as he was able to just make a little leap and put it right over the charging lineman and set up that screen.
Steve Coleman's 5'11", 210, and Calfani Rice is 5'8", 220, so there are a couple loads back there.
1st and 10 from midfield. Baker again got Coleman open, hits him, and he dropped it. at the 26-yard line, and all of a sudden, this was going to be a football game again. He had running room. He probably would have gotten another 5 to 10 yards at least had he made that catch. Caught it in nearly full stride, and he can't believe it.
Yeah, that's disheartening. You know, you get so mad at yourself. I did that once. I dropped the ball right in the end zone, right in my hands. I don't know how the heck did I drop it? Nobody was near me.
It's almost similar to that earlier play when Brandon Kramer made that great catch at the 40-yard line, and a couple plays later in the similar situation that really put it downfield. He dropped it inexplicably, and here's almost the exact same scenario. A good play followed immediately by a less good play.
2nd and 10.
Once again, Flair running room here for Sellers. Broke
Whoa.
a tackle. He breaks out into the open field at the 30. Nice cut, and finally dropped at the 25. Taylor Tobby making the tackle. And all of a sudden, the Gold team is showing some life on offense.
Yes, they are.
Will it be too little too late? Who knows? They could still onside kick if they get the ball in the end zone. They're down 14-0.
What's the last time they gave us?
Just over 7 minutes. I would estimate between 5 and 6 minutes remaining here.
Okay. 1st and 10.
Once again, working out of that shotgun. Spread. And again, they go with the pass into the flat. Sellers again, racing inside the 15 down to the 12-yard line.
See, and he got a block from Ted Ogdahl from Rossford to block the cornerback, so that's a big play for him. One receiver blocks for the other. You got some room to run. Better put that ball away, though, boy.
Now you see this happen. The team is just futile. And then all of a sudden, when it's maybe almost too late, they finally start moving the football. How do you explain
that?
It
almost seems like the black team's in a prevent defense, but they wouldn't be in a prevent defense, I wouldn't think. They're spread out pretty wide, though, now that I mentioned that. Look at that. We got 2 down linemen on defense, 3 down linemen.
Get those passes out in the flat. They've had lots of room to run. That one's behind the line of scrimmage. It's a good thing he caught that ball,
catch, yeah.
Or it would have been a fumble. It would have been a live ball there. So Sellers saves his team from disaster. The Oakland Raiders lost the – in fact, if it wasn't for that kind of a play, there might not have been a Joe Namath Super Bowl III victory for the Jets. Oakland lost the title game to the Jets on a play like that. They were driving for the winning touchdown. Darryl LaMonica threw it behind Charlie Smith. Everybody thought it was a dead ball, and the Jets recovered it. So that catch by Sellers averted disaster, perhaps, for the Gold team. It's 2nd down and 15 now. Ball resting on the black team 18-yard line.
They've got people spread all over the field.
Baker has all day to throw, but still can't find anyone open. Now he's got running room, perhaps. Flag down. Pass to the goal line. Great catch. Touchdown. But a flag is down. And we'll have to see whether this will stand or not. Looks like it's going to be nullified. A great catch there made by Sellers in the end zone, but it looks like it's coming back.
There's the throw. Throws it right into traffic, but Sellers comes out of nowhere and makes the reception.
That the defender thought he was going to make an interception.
Yeah.
He was waiting for the ball to come to him, and it never got there.
Yeah, Sellers came and got it.
But the flag was thrown. It might be a clip as the quarterback was rolling to his left, and the pursuit was coming. The flag flew there, and it's a long walk-off all the way back to the 35, yeah. A holding call.
Yeah. I think they made a block the guy and laid on him.
No, that would constitute holding.
They might have done that. I saw a guy go down, and they might have just rolled over and laid on him. I don't know.
Chuck Bednarik did that to Jim Taylor to win the championship for Philadelphia in 1960. Just wouldn't let Taylor up till the clock ran out. Fumbled on the snap. Baker picks it up, but he won't go anywhere.
He must have been looking upfield before he got the ball, because that ball was not a bad snap. That was about knee high.
And Big Dan Orta made the stop. Yeah, that's right. He was all over that play. Getting a few editorial comments from the
Called him Big
PA.
Dan Orta, too.
Yeah, I remember in the old, well, you know, you're kind of the PA extraordinaire. Remember the days when they just announced who made the tackles?
That's all I do. I have enough trouble with that.
4 minutes to play. We get the word. Third down,
In 100.
and that's right. They got to get to the 2-yard line.
Boy.
They're snapping it from the 36. So doing some quick math, 34 yards to go.
Try to get half of it.
And again, he's being flushed out of the pocket. Still on his feet. Launches out. He got a wide open receiver. The ball is caught.
Out of bounds?
But out of bounds.
Wow.
Just waiting to make sure. Coleman again with a good catch. But he was not able to stay in bounds. And again, because Baker was under such ferocious pressure, he just didn't have a chance to set and throw with the accuracy he would have liked. So after it looked like the gold team was going to punch something across, all of a sudden the wheels have come off again. Steve Coleman there, number 34. From Woodward. However, there is a penalty.
Holding penalty.
And the black team is saying we'll decline this. But apparently, they're not going to get their wish as the 10 yards is marked off. Saw several of them signaling. So now it's going to be, good grief, 53 yards to go. Another editorial comment. For those of you who can't count that high. I was almost one of those. I was having to use my fingers. Baker back to throw. And that one is right in the breadbasket, but went right through the hands of Bubba Valdez, who thought he'd get an interception there, but actually probably just as well to let it drop.
There's the pass. It's kind of a weak throw, up a little wobbly, and Valdez certainly could have had that.
Yep.
But
now it's fourth down. Are they going to go for it on 4th and 55? 4th and 53?
Well, they're sending Bruss in. Oh, no. Yeah.
Yep. Earlier in the game, when it's not this late, you'd be better off not intercepting that ball defensively.
You know what I just heard in the press box? If you got a 4th and 52 play in your playbook, that you're in trouble. And I was just thinking that very same thing. You don't work on this very often.
Yep. All right, low snap. Time for a Doug Flutie.
Whoa.
That doesn't have enough on it. Man, that should have been a penalty.
Pull the receiver down, yeah.
That's going to be interference, as Coleman was just yanked to the ground when the ball was still in flight. That was evident to everyone all the way up here in the press box. Probably everyone in the stands.
Maybe Coleman did the pulling, though.
Now, again, in the old days, that would just be a first down at the point of the infraction, but they've turned that into a 15-yard penalty. Obvious foul, and there's really no reason for it because you catch the ball, you tackle him, he's still 25 yards short of the first down. There's the call.
First down.
It's a first down, automatic first down.
Yeah.
So that was a really unintelligent play.
Well, you don't have time to think sometimes. That ball comes wobbly up towards you. You go get it.
Yeah. Thinking's always a good thing to do.
That's what the coaches are supposed to do.
You
They
know,
do the thinking.
The ball's on the 30-yard line. They got to get to the 2 for a first down.
Right.
It's fourth down. You don't really have to think. 3:42 left to go in the game. So the gold team, in kind of a wacky manner, has new life. Drive is just kind of come in lumps. There's a pass down the right side. Caught! Touchdown!
Oh.
A great catch there by Steve Whitlow. And this time there's no laundry on the field. It is a touchdown for the Gold team. And if they're able to come back, that pass interference play is going to weigh heavily on the minds of the Black team. Let's take a look at this replay.
There he goes. He winds up and lets her fly. Good looking pass all the way. He's got him wide open. And he makes a nice catch and stays on his feet and stays in bounds.
So he had to twist his body backward to make the play. And it's now 14-6. And it will now be Eric Soltis who will have to justify his #1 billing now. Try for this extra point. Good snap, kick up. I think he could have won the halftime competition. And it's 14-7, and there's still about 3 minutes left in the game. So we may have some dramatics after all.
How long was that pass? Do you remember?
It was
40.
Say about a 30-yard pass. As that pass interference call came at the 30-yard line. So a 30-yard touchdown from Danny Baker to Steve Whitlow. Makes it 14-6. The extra point cuts it to 14-7.
That's a good choice, Josh Valentine.
Okay, we're going to have presentation of the Player of the Game awards before the end of the game.
Josh Valentine was a good pick. That was I almost pulled him myself.
Yeah, because he was the one, like I was mentioning, that there had been some defensive players who had been making some really big-time hits out there, and Valentine, and frankly, the reason I didn't think of one is because just you run through your mind trying to think of who was getting all those, but after the name has been mentioned, yeah, he had several good hits in there, and it's good to see a defensive player recognized. Defensive tackle, a 6'5", 220-pounder, first team All-City. You can see he's very happy. Defensive tackles don't win many of those kinds of awards.
Is he going on next year?
Yeah, he's another undecided. Chuck Howley won the MVP of the Super Bowl in 1 year, a linebacker for making 2 interceptions, but it's been maybe the only time. Maybe there's been 1 or 2 other times, I don't know, maybe Ray Lewis. But suffice it to say, it's very rare for a defensive player to be the MVP of a Super Bowl, and for an all-star game like this as well, but a good choice there. And Edwin Hood, the player for the goal. All right, we could have, in fact, almost certainly we'll have an onside kick. They pack everybody over to the left side of the field.
They got quarterbacks in the front row on the defensive side. There he is.
It's a good hop there, and Kelly Rowe.
Kelly Rowe
we
caught
have
it.
a hard time getting snaps.
They got a little
Very
trouble
sure-handed
down
there, and now we got some pushing and shoving, flags flying, and this is the first instance of ill will breaking out, and it's almost predictable because for the first time there's really some tension as far as the result of this ball game now. And of course you want to protect your player. Kelly Rowe, obviously quite a commodity. Want to see anybody get hurt at any time, but especially in a game like this when a lot of these players have so much coming in their futures.
Personal foul, Black.
I think we'll have offsetting penalties.
I've always wondered why they even bother to call those.
And sometimes offsetting penalties, the interpretation of that can be quizzical. Now here they let the play stand. There's a play that happened well back that I can remember in a Raider-Chief game where the quarterback ran for the first down that would have won the game, and old Ben Davidson, who was known for this sort of thing, actually buried his helmet in Lenny Dawson after the whistle, and then the Chiefs responded. A big fight broke out. They called offsetting penalties, wiped out the play, and the Raiders ended up getting rewarded for a cheap shot. But here's what should happen. You have that altercation after the play, but the play stands.
Yeah, because it was after the play. That's exactly right, yeah. That's probably been a change in the rules.
Yep, thank goodness. There's a fake handoff. Kelly Rowe back in at quarterback, so I guess they figure they're going to put him in there and hope to have him revert to form, help them put this game away, and he rolls for 6 yards.
There he goes. He's rolling around. He's coming back to the left here.
You can see they faked them out.
Yeah.
The defense was going the other way.
He's got some pretty good quickness. He gets out, got a good block there. Yep. and run out of bounds.
3 minutes to play in the game.
It seemed like he got more than that because he ran a lot farther than that, but he only
like
got 4 yards.
Similar to the touchdown play, apparent touchdown, where they put him out on the 2-yard line. Apparently they said he went out of bounds well before it appeared, at least from this vantage point, that he did. So it's about 4-yard gain.
Kelly called a timeout now.
So the Black All-Stars will talk things over. They had a very comfortable lead for much of this game. That 14-0 lead down the stretch. All they had to do to salt the game away was to stop the Gold All-Stars on a 4th and 53, and they failed to do it because of a rather quizzical pass interference penalty, and I'm straining for a charitable word there.
Quizzical, isn't it?
Well, I could think of words that would be more frank, but it keeps the ball game alive here at 14-7. And who knows, we might have some excitement.
You never know.
2nd down, about 5 to go.
Seemed like they gained a yard during the timeout, didn't it?
Sure does. I thought it was a 4-yard. First thought it was 6, then 4. I guess they split the difference and give them 5. 4th quarter. Final minutes ticking off.
At Kersey in the backfield.
Handoff. Kersey gets the ball and gets some real head of steam going and gets the first down to the 41-yard line.
Just straight ahead power on this play. There goes Kersey, gets the handoff and just goes straight ahead, right up the field.
And they telegraphed that and dared him to stop us.
Yeah, that's just power football right there.
That's the way they used to do it in the good old days, huh?
Yeah.
You mentioned that you played quarterback early in your career and then switched to tailback your final year. What was the reasoning behind that?
We ran the halfback option. It was the same offense that the University of Toledo ran at that time under Cleve Rush. And we ran the halfback option. Either halfback could run an option to the other halfback. It was quite an offense.
And with a coach named Rush, you got to have a good ground game.
Yeah,
Here's Edwin Hood going left, beating a tackle. He spurts into the open field, and he's at the 10, the 5, and he scores. And that would certainly salt away his MVP selection.
That'd be about 42 yards.
43-yard touchdown scamper. And he left defenders in his wake on his way to this touchdown. You see the breakaway speed and the cutback ability.
Yeah, he knows what he's doing with the ball. He's getting it in the end zone.
I would say that the Falcons come up with a potentially a very good back, game-breaking type runner. So it is 20-7, and Manriquez will come on to try to make it 21, and he chips it over. And remember that drama that I was saying we might have? I think it may not occur, as Edwin Hood has quite likely delivered the final blow to the Gold team. Still 2:17 to play, but now they got 2 touchdowns to make up. And Edwin Hood's 2nd touchdown of the game. And had they not called him out of bounds on that end sweep earlier, he'd have 3 touchdowns in this game. His first touchdown was a 2-yard run. This one considerably more electric, going 43 yards to pay dirt.
Well, who do we have deep for the Gold? We got, who is that? Steve Sellers, Mommy, number 1.
Put your arms down, please.
Number 4, Steve Whitlow.
Sellers has played a pretty good game offensively.
Yes, he has.
Whitlow made that nice touchdown catch. Now all of a sudden these names are flooding into my head of people that would have been good consideration for the MVP award, but I think Soltis did a good job punting, and he had to make a lot of kicks from precarious position on the field. Did it quite well. There's a long kick by Manriquez. Fumbled, but picked up again by Whitlow. And he just picks his way up to the 25-yard line.
He's listed at 5'6", 155. You don't want to run straight up the field too much when you're that.
That's right. Now there's Wee Willie Keeler's hit him where they ain't. The football corollaries run where they ain't. And up the field isn't it. We've got a penalty on the kicking team, a 5-yard penalty for offside, it appears, and they're going to re-kick from the 35, which is, they do it from the 30-yard line now in the NFL, or is it still the 35? Used to be the 40. They pushed that back, and the kickers just started getting longer and longer distance. So Enriquez will do it again.
Dan Baker, the quarterback, on the goal.
From the 35-yard line. That's another thing. Back in the old days, all the kickers used to be toe kickers. Let's go down to the field.
Hey, Greg and J.K. Tom Cole down on the sideline. Again, getting ready to wrap up the All-Star game. A terrific event. And Danny Baker, Findlay quarterback, stands tall in the pocket, throws the ball well. It's going to UT as a walk-on, and their system that Cliff Height ran at Findlay, that UT runs under Robbie Spence, is perfect for Danny Baker, and he's done a nice job tonight. Back up to you guys.
Here's Calfani right, finding some running room, and skips his way out past the 40-yard line before he's stopped by Fred Blanton. And I think that point that Tom Cole just made is something that is significant. A quarterback like Danny Baker, he's going into a system at the University of Toledo where they run the same kind of offensive scheme, and I'm sure that that's part of the reason that they thought that he might be somebody worth having come out.
Yeah, that's why they're going to take a look at him, because he's got experience running that offense. So he's going to have a chance. And he, like I say, he can grow. He can grow and gain another 20, 25 pounds and get another inch or two taller, too.
Yeah, and he's already 6'3". I'm sure they like that. Yeah. So about 2 minutes to play, 21-7. Here's a pass out in the flat to right. And he got a couple of yards on the play, and that's it. They're going to have to step it up now and move down the field. A bit more sense of purpose here and urgency. There's Danny Baker, number 11. Okay, very
21-7, huh?
Personable young man. 21-7, Black leading the Gold. Gold was unexpectedly given new life in their last series. Here's a pass once again, complete to Coleman, and he's inside the 30 before he's finally stopped by Blake Bolton of Napoleon.
There's a flag.
And it seems like every time there's a good gainer, there's a flag. Take a look at it.
Good throw, good catch. He's wide open in the seam out there. Now, I don't know what happens after the play, but that's when something happened, because they throw a penalty.
Yeah, the flag was flown in the vicinity, or thrown in the vicinity of the stop.
Yeah, it was when they were getting up that something happened.
Get the call. It's offsetting penalty again, but they let the play stand, which again is the proper
after the play
interpretation.
Yeah.
No reason to punish a team for, or reward a team for a violation that would occur after the play has completed. So now it is first down and 10 from the 29 of the Black. And is it possible that they could orchestrate another comeback?
Yes, it is.
Baker is back, and he's being rushed, and that is not going to facilitate a comeback as the sack is made by Chris Stone of Woodmore. And he's another defensive player that has very much made his presence felt in this game.
There he goes, going back in the pocket, and he doesn't get very good protection because he come in and smacked him. Stone made a good tackle there.
Wrapped him up. He wasn't going to let him get away. So we saw that earlier where it looked like Rowe was just completely wrapped up, and he managed to escape. That wasn't going to happen that time. Timeout on the field.
How much time? About a minute and a half, you think?
Yep. Once again, the scoreboard went out on us. just prior to the game.
How's our friend Tom Coles? He got somebody to talk to down there? He's got somebody to talk to down there.
Yeah, he's got some people keeping him company. Can make him out. Because it was good foresight for him to wear the red baseball cap. I can pick him out.
Mm-hmm.
So 21-7 the score. Edwin Hood really emerged as the star of the game. He was picked as the MVP for his team, and I think certainly if you were going to pick one MVP for this game, it would have to be him. And his talent really stood out very much in this contest.
Yeah, there's no question. Anytime he has the ball, he's a threat to score, and no matter where he is, because he can break tackles and he's got great moves and he's got great foot speed, as Coach Cole was talking about.
You know, one thing going to BGSU, and it happened in the early 90s when Gary Blackney came, and of course Edwin Hood's going to BGSU. They turned their program around again after 6 years in a wilderness when Urban Meyer came in. We'll get back to that in a moment. Snap. Baker did a good job short hopping it, and he's going to just take the safe route, go out of bounds at the 35-yard line. It'll be third down and about 18 to go. But we also heard Kelly Rowe talking about how his team went from 0-10 to making the regional championship in the matter of a couple of years, and it really makes you think. He said that you really have to credit the coaching staff there, and it really shows in many cases that you can bring in a coach, and if he does the right things in terms of inspiring the players and putting the right program in place, he can work wonders with a ball club.
Yeah, that's for sure. And get the kids to believe in them, and get the kids to believe in themselves and believe in the kids, and get the parents to cooperate. The parent cooperation is very important.
Baker pass out once again in the flat, but
threw a little
incomplete. Yes, and Calfani Wright had to jam the brakes on it. That's hard to do with this wet field.
Yeah, but once again, the field looks super. It isn't all charred up or anything because it's this time of year where they're not using it. So it's an excellent job by the Perrysburg school system to keep this in good shape.
Yeah, they had a lot of soccer games played this summer with that Toledo Slayer professional team. And we had a couple of their games on, and they've done a very good job in preserving this field condition. We were on the field prior to the game, and it looked very, very good.
I'd be anxious to see if Orta's going to go anywhere. Look at him come through there. Look at him. Look, he came through about four guys.
To pursue, then Baker throws as he's about to be hit. That's going to be intercepted apparently, but again, that ball is just an elusive spheroid in this game. As they just have had many instances where a player looked like he was about to catch it but couldn't hang on. That was Kyle Keeler, who already had one interception in the game. And that should just about end things here. As the black team with their 2-touchdown lead take over possession of the ball, and they'll be able to just run it out.
40 seconds.
Just go to a knee, and now they can celebrate and not get penalized for excessiveness.
I don't know.
About 40 seconds.
Who do we have in there? 14.
We've got Chris Herdig from Fairview, who played a series a little bit earlier.
Tichy from Patrick Henry.
With that handoff and a few yards. So they might as well just play it out. Some of these guys, it'll be their very last play from scrimmage in a high school game. May as well not waste it.
Yeah, that's for sure. In fact, that might have been the last one. They may not even have to run one now.
Maybe they'll rush it up and just one more snap for old time's sake, like in the movie Rudy, where everybody got their one last hit.
I don't think they're going to do that.
No,
Looks
I don't
like
think
they're
so
going to just
either.
stand there, yeah. Although 78
you
wants
never
to
know.
do
They're
something.
spilling out of the huddle.
Yeah.
But that's it. They're not going to get it off, and that's it. So the game is in the books. And the black all-star team overcomes the weather and the golds to win a 21-7 victory here in this 14th annual regional all-star football game. And Edwin Hood for the victorious black squad, and Josh Valentine for the golds, the two MVPs. And we're going to presently go down to Tom Cole for some interviews, and we can recap the game for you here. Edwin Hood started with the 2-yard run, first of 2 touchdowns. We are now ready to go down to the field, and so let's go to Tom Cole.
Tom Cole back after the All-Star game with Coach Gooch, and Gooch, the mad scientist, the passing plays. You had it going tonight. Hey, it's tough coaching an All-Star game in a lot of respects. You got to get everybody in, but you want to win. Tell us about it.
Well, the kids performed great, and the whole win goes up on the offensive line and the defense. I thought they played outstanding football. Unfortunately, we gave up the 1 score, but it's like you said, it's an All-Star game, and they got to get in the end zone, which is good for their team. But defensively, I thought we played outstanding to cover all those routes that they run. They throw it around more than I do. And then also, I thought our offensive line really dominated the game.
Well, somebody's saying they throw it around more than you do, Gooch. You're the mad scientist. You get it done. You know, Kelly had a little trouble with the snap early on. Is that because you felt it doesn't take many during the during this 2 years at Sylvania?
Yeah, we didn't want to put in 2 separate offenses
Gotcha.
with the shotgun and under center, so we just figured we'd go under center and see what happened. And they adjusted well. I know it had a lot to do with the rain, and all the quarterbacks sort of struggled with the snaps early, but they came back well. And the offensive line, like I said, they dominated the offensive game. There's no question.
And Danny Baker stands tall in the pocket. He does a nice job. He's got good presence, nice touch.
Yeah.
Walking on at UT, similar offenses, he should do a nice job.
Yeah, I like watching him because he stands in the pocket and he takes the hit while the ball's being delivered. And a lot of quarterbacks in high school aren't used to doing that. You can definitely tell that he'll stand in there and take the heat and deliver the ball for his team.
An old quarterback knows a quarterback. Gooch, congratulations. Nice job. Thank you so much, Gooch. Hey, guys, we want to take it back upstairs. It was a great night. Festivities for all, fun game. JK and Greg, take it away.
All right. Thanks a lot for your yeoman work down there, Tom. And final score, 21-7. The Black All-Stars beat the Gold. And let's take a break, and we'll be back for a moment on BCSN. Here's a look at the Gold team as they fall in a valiant effort to the Blacks, 21-7. We'll hope to perhaps get an interview at the star of the game here, but for the moment, Greg Franke along with John Keller. And John, I think there's no question that had it not been for the weather, we might have had a more entertaining ball game, but I do think that the teams came out and made it a pretty interesting game in the second half.
Yeah, they did. And the Gold team gave them a good battle, but the Gold team didn't have Edwin Hood. Hood was the difference in the game. That's no question about it.
Absolutely, and let's go once more down to field level.
Tom Cole back down on the field after the All-Star game. We've got Petey Hood with us. And Petey, I've seen you play a lot through the years at Whitmer, and I'll tell you, I've always been so impressed with you because you're a team guy and you believe in the people around you, which is unusual when people are throwing star numbers at you. But you seem to be, every time I see you, you're quicker than everybody on the field, you know, and there's fast and there's football fast, Petey, and you're fast. The track wasn't too bad for you tonight, obviously.
No, it wasn't. The weather was pretty crappy earlier. It came out second half. It stopped raining, and got to give the hands to the line and the receivers. I mean, they blocked good, and then the defense gave us good field position. So got to give credit to both.
It seems like Petey, you got along great with the kids and your coaches. You had fun this week.
I made some good friends from different schools. I mean, met some new people, and it's great. There's a lot of talent out here. It was nice. It was fun.
Looking forward to college, Petey?
Oh yeah, I can't wait.
All right. Petey has had a terrific career. Again, a team guy, and congratulations on your job tonight, Petey. Well done. Greg and JK, take it away. We had a great time here at the All-Star game, and you guys did a spectacular job. Lane and Katie were outstanding, so have some fun up there, guys.
All right, thanks, Coach. And that last shot of Edwin Hood, affectionately known as Petey, broke away and it almost looked like an O.J. Simpson type runner there as he just broke away on the outside, then showed that great cutback ability and left everybody in the dust, and that really says it all about the kind of athlete he is.
Yeah, that was a difference. That was a whole difference in the game right there. Petey Hood showed what he can do, and I hope he can do it at Bowling Green. I mean, I'd hate to see him go down there and get lost in the shuffle, but hopefully he can carry on, and we can all watch him play for 4 more years.
Yeah, well, something tells me somehow he's going to avoid being lost in the shuffle, but certainly great performance by several players out here. But regardless of whether these guys are going on to play in college or whether they're not, they certainly have a memorable thing to leave the game in tonight.
Yes, they do. This was a nice affair. It was nicely run, and even though the weather was bad, it turned out to be a nice affair. So
sure did.
Enjoyed
14th
doing it.
annual regional all-star football game from Steinecker Stadium in Perrysburg, and once again the final score 21-7 Black over the Gold. Thanks to the crew, thanks to Tom Cole and John Keller. Greg Franke saying so long, everyone.